I'm Rose, and welcome back to another episode of Myths Guided, a show where me and my fraternity brothers explore the world of Barsave. Sorry we're starting a little late. There's bad traffic, thunderstorms, and also we're terrible people and have been messing around for the past 10 minutes. So, thank you for waiting and tuning in with us now. Let's get back in to some Myths Guided adventures. Start off this session. What is wrong?
We're really...
Oh my god. Anyways. So, I guess let's start with character introductions, like we usually do.
I'm Corey. I play Taman Ashwood, the Dwarven Beastmaster.
I'm Julia. I play Jackanal, the Scrang Nethermancer.
No one can read that.
I'm Bane, and I play Triskin, the Elven Warrior who has taken a vow of silence.
That's got 3 days.
Show it in my...
That's
discount.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Ooh.
Oh.
That might be readable.
Yeah.
The back still says help. It's a silent plea.
And I'm Forrest, who plays Frill Songsmith, the human troubadour.
And I'm Scott. I play Nissa, the male wingling elementalist.
Whoop. Alright. To pick up where we last left off, the party completed... The party?
Was it? Party?
You guys are the party.
Oh, I thought you were saying we were at the party.
Oh.
No.
I mean... We can,
no.
But
I didn't interpret our last setting that way, so I was confused. Okay.
You know,
Please
it was a party of sorts. You know. Oh god, that was.
Party.
I would like to clarify that burping noise was not from anyone here. That was from my sound effects. Okay. I did
Thanks
not
for covering for me, bro.
Got you. No. Anyways. Well, okay. What were you guys doing?
We
just showed up.
We were on an
yes.
airship.
Yes.
And then we landed.
We were in the middle of being accused of murder, I think.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
As
that
happens.
happens.
It happens. Yeah, the party completed their group bonding activities in Thrall.
Bondage.
Group, pretty much.
We're trapped.
Yeah.
You could not get out. Slowly being tortured by water, ever slowly rising. No, but they completed their bonding. They formed a true pattern for their group that they can now weave threads to, as well as performed a blood oath of peace between the group. So now they, have to always do things for the favor of the group. And on that note, they had fully been initiated into sponsored mercenaries of Thrall, and got nice golden cloaks that definitely, make them stand out wherever they go, which is a good thing, maybe.
Give them that +1 to mystic defense.
Oh, yeah. Also, because it's magical and fun. So now the party ventures out with their new sponsorship from Thrall and their cloaks and their blood magic, and then they take an airship down to Lake Ban, where the floating city is, where Rock had asked them to meet a few weeks prior. I forgot how long I said it takes to get there, but apparently there's still 3 days left in Triskin's vow of silence, according to him, so I'm gonna hope that you got that right, because otherwise I don't care. But
Hopefully it's just always 3 days away from ending.
Yes.
yeah. Oof, ouch.
I just realized it's gonna be fun trying to explain to this guy what happened with his vow of silence. Yep.
Does your character actually have something to write on, or
This character has a whiteboard.
yeah?
No.
Did you just speak?
No. Out of character.
Oof. Broke your vow of silence.
Character has paper and ink, I think, but
It was a good way to waste a lot of expensive ink.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, so they just arrived at the floating city, and they, upon entering, gain some notice from the general crowds in the city. They do stand out quite a bit with their big gold capes and, being...
The North very tall elf.
Yeah, and just, like, the general party being a mess. So, upon entering the, middle area of the town, the familiar Scraying man from before, who was acquainted with Dew,
Why are you looking at me?
You're the most familiar screen man I know.
What's this character's name?
I don't know. Do you guys know?
Oh, just
No,
the
you never
character.
asked
No, we never found out.
Yeah. I was about to say, I'm not gonna spill the beans. I hate myself. Anyways, they get called out by the Scraying man as they enter the town square, yelling out to a group of people saying, these are the ones who took Dew's life. And that's where we ended with, this crowd kind of turning on the party in a state of shock, and making a real smooth entrance for everyone. So, what's up?
Oh, I'm gonna immediately take charge here.
Okay. Go for it.
You better get in there before Missa.
Oh, good.
Alright.
Every social interaction is like y'all racing to be the first ones to get out.
I love
Last
it.
time Missif was accused of committing some horrible crime, he owned up to it immediately, except he was owning up to a crime that he did technically commit, but was the wrong crime.
Is
What
this
was
in your
this?
backstory or
No,
The
this was
the first game.
this was literally
In
the
Merrick?
first time when you met Missif.
He confessed.
To murdering all those people?
No, he confessed to. He was told basically, confess to the crime, and Missif was like, yeah, I admit that I don't know, was doing something innocuous, like
Oh.
Bad
I
acting or
remember
something?
bad
that.
acting in a scene. or something
Yeah.
Like that.
Oh, I remember that.
I don't know if that's actually a crime.
Yeah. No, I think it is.
Yeah. Deserve jail time for that.
No one wants to do that. So.
Anyway.
But yes, what are you attempting to do here, Frill?
Alright. I am going to what am I gonna try and do? I'm gonna try and pacify the crowd by responding to these baseless accusations.
Okay, alright. There's definitely no base considering she's dead, but
We didn't murder her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
yeah,
gotta-
so these are baseless.
Yeah, okay, you gotta convince him that. Go
We
for
didn't
it.
take her life, she gave her life.
Exactly.
For us. that
Details.
we now have in a sword forever.
So I step forward and I'm going to attempt to use diplomacy to win over the crowd.
Okay.
Alright? And say, murder Dew, lies and slander. Why, we were amongst Dew's finest allies in the battle of... Where did we just go from?
Tyrannus?
Tyrannus against the Mad Passion.
The battle of
The Mad Passions.
Okay.
There we were, side by side.
That was it.
Alright.
End the story.
Alright.
Look,
we did stand
Forrest
next
is
to
not
each
as good as
other.
Frill at doing these things. Have
No,
some patience.
roll for diplomacy.
Right, okay.
You got it.
Alright.
Battle
This
of-
is not...
It was very convincing.
No, I was rolling... I was gonna... Yeah, it's not still on step 8. With Karma, which is 3d6.
You got this.
That was crooked. Because it
What?
ran something. 10.
10. So, you managed to get the crowd's attention away from what the Scraying man had accused you all of. But now they're just slightly confused as to what happened. They know that Dew is dead. They don't really think that you murdered them, or murdered her, but they're confused as to what happened now. So now you kind of hear them mumbling, like, Mad Passion? What? And
I can see that you have not heard the tale of the Battle of Tyrannus. I am a wandering troubadour, and let me tell it to you in song.
Oh
yes.
God.
I've been waiting for
Oh,
this.
I strum my
This is what you were made to
yes,
do.
exactly. I strum my lute and I start to play Nature's Rock.
Oh God.
But as I do this, I recount the what happened in Tyrannus. I mentioned how Tyrannus was something wasn't quite right, and it was the 5 of us, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 of us. The party and Rock
And do.
Okay.
And unnamed string.
Unnamed.
Yeah,
we don't know
shit,
unnamed
so
string
that's
things.
fine.
It doesn't exist.
I wonder if
And
this
how-
happened at the beginning.
One by one, the group fell under the sway of the influences of the city, but then one by one, thanks to Rock's intervention, we coalesced and discovered the true nature of what was going on, and how when we found the source, the sword of the Mad Passion, we attempted to break it, but in trying so, it was strong, and only by the great sacrifice of Du were we able to break the control of the city, and how Du is a mighty hero.
I'm very inspired now. Actually,
Yeah, I love
like
that.
I really want someone to actually write this song. Like, you know how like Skyrim reference again, and I always have those like bards in the inns that are singing songs about some dude from Rorikstead or whatever. I want someone to write this song now.
Can we get a sound effect and like a little? Do they have any kind of guitar thing playing while he's rolling for
Maybe
this?
Yeah, and I guess I'm
like-
using Entertainer. It
Go
fits
for
pretty
it.
well.
I mean, I'm pretty inspired, so I'd say you got a good look here. Here, there's a Bard's Day Off, so I think this one has like.
Yeah.
I mean, that should have no bars in it because it's day off, right?
I'm
I don't know. I guess this would be
Instead of
emotion.
him sleeping.
I guess this would be emotion song because I'm trying to convince them that Du is a hero.
Of course.
This one
That
is
feels
nice too,
better.
though.
So I'm going to roll.
Oh God!
You say-
Oh boy!
10 to 86.
I didn't
I
expect
think
to
that's
actually be
lyrics
singing
on
in
this,
this.
yeah.
Oh wow!
Alright. How well does the crowd take this?
Oh please God.
Pretty well. 18.
Hell yeah. What was that?
It's called Dramatic Note. I thought it would be more like music and less like battle, but
It was
I
like in the
didn't.
middle of this song. It was like,
You
wham.
can only have drama in battle.
It was one of the the heavy points in the song, you know, do sacrificing yourself. All right.
Yeah.
What did you roll?
18.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. No. You notice some of the people like in the crowd start kind of like tearing up, hearing this story. Like this scraying woman they once knew, you know, is never gonna come back. And she like gave herself for the greater good. So you know, you've moved people. You moved me. Just you know, as not even the GM, just as a person, I'm emotional right now. So. You know, Du was really a great character that I made up in like 2 minutes. So,
Call the song "Do Unto Others."
oh, that's cute.
That's done.
Oh, that's
done.
very
Done.
Yeah.
Now, out of the like 2 people, Josh or Thorn, Josh was like, I'm 50% of your viewers. Josh, if you're watching this, I hate you. No, Josh, if you have any songwriting skills, please get on this. You got it.
We need it by the end of the day.
Yeah, please. You're commissioned now. Please work for us. All right, and almost.
If you have any meme making skills, employ those in our favor.
Oh my goodness.
I want that even more than I want a song.
Wait, what memes?
Just memes about our group.
General memes. You know, out of all the places that can make memes for us, you know, we definitely have the resources for it.
We have the technology.
Oh God. But almost as if you know, the familiar tune being strummed on the guitar summoned her. Rock kind of steps up behind, or walks up from behind the scream man that was yelling out, and with the crowd, you know, kind of calming down and a little emotional. You hear Rock kind of like slightly threateningly like grab like the sleeve of the scream man and say, you all are close enough, you hear her say, well, because she's not a quiet person either, so, you know, fairly loudly, I guess, you hear her say, like, don't forget Colo. Do gave her life. It was not taken. Don't betray her name and take the honor she deserves from this sacrifice. And she kind of just like keeps going. And like you see the scream man kind of like shrink a little bit under her like grabbing, you know, his shoulder. She kind of like continues on to defend, like just saying like, you know, it was for the greater good of Bar Save. Like I know you're sad, but this group saved your city, so don't get them in trouble. It's pretty much like what she was saying to him as you guys, I guess, stand nearby with the crowd kind of dying down. And yeah, he kind of shrinks back behind her. And as Rock, you know, I guess, are you still playing your song?
I mean, I don't know. I think maybe I'm done by this point.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is what I'm doing.
Well, she's gonna start kind of walking up towards you guys, seeing now that Tocolo has kind of backed off a little bit.
What was his name? Sorry,
Tocolo? Tkollo. With like the little apostrophe between, because you know, screams and whatnot. Yeah. Always with the wild names. They're actually pretty fun names, though.
Yeah. It's fancy, baby.
Yeah.
Throw as many apostrophes in there as you want.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
There's an apostrophe between every letter.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm playing that song again because it was cute. All right. But yeah, and so as Rock kind of makes her way towards you with this kind of like somewhat somber mood, you start to hear, with everyone's attention somewhat focused on you all, even though they are kind of mourning due in this moment, you start to hear just nervous chatter generally about the group. You know, it's not every day that they have like a group of so many like outsiders coming into the city, especially you all clearly being like mercenaries of Thrall with your capes. I think I mentioned this in the last session. They're kind of just a little concerned, like, oh, is something going on in the city? What's happening here? You know, why are there 5 mercenaries of Thrall? Like, are we in trouble? Kind of, you know, some slight paranoia. You hear some people observing the party. Specifically, comments directed at Jack and all, saying things like, I haven't seen that Scrang man around. I know he's from Thrall, but what if he's a spy, like, from another family? And kind of whispering things, saying, pointing out, you know, he's dressed as a Nethermancer. What if he's fooling us? He plays with the life of others. People just generally commenting about being dark looking, you know, Skrangs don't typically, you know, aren't so dark and brooding or whatever. You hear a comment, you know, doesn't that elf man kind of look like that important guy from Doranas?
We'll never escape burial, even after his death.
But yeah, the crowd is kind of like
I will
riling.
never give up my goth aesthetic.
Oh my goodness. It's very odd for a Scrang
Yeah.
to, you know, as generally such energetic, I guess, like outgoing
Yeah.
creatures. But so you hear like this general kind of like, you know, agreement, like murmuring rising out of the crowd. And eventually, you know, I guess if y'all are just continuing to stand there, one man is going to, oh yes, I just got an @ and the notification didn't go off. Alright, but of course I said something about it, so that wasn't really sly, was it? Alright.
No, honestly.
One man is going to like step out, kind of, from the crowd, because the general thing you keep hearing is kind of like, you know, he's a little dark, he's a little suspicious, like, what if he's from a different family, what if he's a spy, you know, what if he's undercover as a mercenary of Thrall, are they trying to, like, infiltrate us, you know, because, you have heard and get the feeling that this, I think it was mentioned before that, this house, in Lake Ban is the most closely aligned with Thrall, so they're kind of like, you know, of course they're gonna expect us to trust people from Thrall, so maybe, you know, maybe that's how they're tricking us, kind of general suspicion. So this man is gonna step up and he's gonna be like, fellow Scrang, where do you come from? It's not every day you see a Scrang with such a dark discipline. I hope you don't mean any trouble for us. And everyone's gonna kind of like perk up and like look at this dude as he's talking and kind of give you guys a few more glances.
And this is directed at Jackanal?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of loud to the whole party, but he's asking where Jackanal is from.
And this NPC is another Scrang?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone in, like, I guess maybe a few travelers, a few outsiders in the city are various races, but yeah, like...
mostly Scrang in the city.
Yeah, because this city is the base of the House Vistriman? Yeah, House Vistriman resides in Lake Ban, so yeah, it's a majority Scrang here, so...
Well... First off, thank you for noting my dark aspect. I really do try. Appreciate commentary. I'm not any kind of spy. These guys can back me up. I'm from Thrall. I'm from Club City.
Do you say that loud enough for...
Yes, I'm from Club City.
Okay. So people are gonna kind of like be like, is that what did he say? Like,
oh no,
you did say it loud enough to hear.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kind of like.
Yeah, you just kind of like, you know, giggle it out. Okay, or not giggle, like cover it.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeet it out.
Yeah.
I'm from the Cliff City.
Yeah.
No.
These guys can back me up. I'm not any kind of spy. We're all authorized mercenaries of Thrall.
Yeah, and after you say that, Rock's gonna kind of like, who is like halfway between you and this like crowd of people, gonna be like, listen, I witnessed these people defend, you know, Thrall and Thrall's honor in the city of Doranis. Clearly, you know, they're truly partnered with Thrall, okay? Back off, pretty much, is what she's gonna be like.
Thanks, Rock.
Got you, boo. And you know, hearing that you say you're from the Cliff City, this man is gonna kind of, you can tell he has a like leader air to him, though he is a man, of course. I guess, you know, the Scrang are matriarchal society, but this man clearly has some power in the city, and the people are kind of listening to him, and he kind of like goes like he has some understanding. He says, House Sirtis, I believe you. You're not a spy at all, are you? But could still be dangerous. I've heard stories.
I mean, we're mercenaries. Technically, we're all dangerous, right? That's like why we got hired.
Are you saying that it is dangerous because you're afraid of us, or you're afraid for us?
I smolder in the background.
What?
I smolder.
What?
Is
Smaller, like
You're doing the fucking blue
Like,
steel.
I was gonna say, in
What?
a sexy way, or
That's what I
or
think
a
we're on
menacing,
fire.
or a menacing way.
In like a bodyguard way.
Oh, okay. I
You know
thought
how
you were
they like
so the sexy way.
they like
Yeah,
yeah,
So
exactly.
like halfway in between.
Yeah, in between.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Flynn Rider. Is that what he called it? He's like
That's what he calls it.
Yeah.
a smolder.
Oh,
I was very confused
yeah.
for a second. I was like, where are
Yeah.
you going with this one?
Uh-huh.
I also roll to seduce.
Do you?
Is he gay?
I
You don't know until you try.
Yeah, exactly.
You won't know until he tries.
Yeah.
Not right now.
Anyways, he's gonna continue talking and ignore your smoldering. And he's gonna say, concern for us and possibly you. Just
I'm visibly uncomfortable.
be careful with those who play with the lives of others.
Good to know. Thank you so much for the advice. Anyway, we got important mercenary business to get on, so if you'll excuse us.
Does this mercenary business require staying in the city for long? I believe you should resolve things in the Cliff City before you reside here.
What does this have to do with Cliff City?
You're trying to say that we should leave town?
We'll assist you.
And why were representatives of the Kingdom of Thrall not welcome in the city?
Oh, yeah.
You see, we will assist you in your travels. However, while we are closely aligned with Thrall, we have good relationship with House Sirtis, and it might not look good on us to be holding someone who has a past with that house. So, while we will assist you as mercenaries of Thrall in wherever you need to go, if you could make your time here short, it would be appreciated.
I'm sorry, I don't believe I caught your name.
I didn't give him a name. That's why you didn't catch it. Let's see. I have this like list of names. What should your name be?
Tiscrango.
Tiscrango. Yup, that's what it is. All right.
Tiscrango and chains.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, his name is now Tiscrango. Not Tiscrango, Tiscrango.
T apostrophe T.
That's exactly what I was going for. I'm glad you caught on. All right. But yeah. So let me mark this down. Ugh, why do you guys gotta name my characters? Then I get attached. Sorry.
So when we kill them, you cry all the more.
Oh god. There's also an apostrophe between the G and the O. There's 3 apostrophes.
Oh my god.
Just Rango. Alright. Yeah, so he's like, my good sir, my name is Tiscrango. As I'm sure you understand, I'm simply trying to look out for my own families here. Not trying to mean you all any harm. I hope you can see we want to assist you all, but we also have to do what's best for us.
Well, we would love nothing better than to get the hell out of Dodge, so thanks so much for your help.
All right. Well, I suppose you all may go about your business then, and let me know if there's anything you need.
I will let you know if there's anything we need from you.
Sounds great. Thank you. And he's gonna turn to the crowd and kind of be like,
Where is it that I can find you in case the situation should arise?
he's gonna gesture to like one of the, because you're in like kind of the town square area, where it seems like more of the like built up like nobility houses might be, and he's gonna gesture to like one to the right of the town square, and he'll be like, you may come here anytime and ask for me by name, and I'll assist you. If you need help with transport anywhere, you can find the docks, and then he'll like gesture to where the docks are, and say we'll do our best to accommodate you however we can. Yes. And he'll kind of nod and try and back away with a little like tense, his like shoulders are a little high. He's kind of
Okay, no.
I want to thank you for the hospitality with which you've granted us.
of course. I hope you can understand the situation we're in. And he'll kind of back away.
What's the security
nice
look like
guy.
in this city?
What is the what?
The security, like guards and shit.
I want to steal.
Or are we being followed?
Oh.
I would say the security is pretty good, especially since the city is mostly Skring. You do stick out a lot. So you're definitely being watched.
This would kind of stick out anyway.
That's accurate. Yeah, no, you definitely see like a decent amount of like Skring like guards walking by with some like armor or whatever. They're like swords in their hilt, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Scabbard.
That thing, sure. Got weapons on them, but not
Packing
like
heat.
Huh?
Packing heat.
Yeah.
I hate that. And walking around, just kind of casually, like not much, not too much story about the city, but people are definitely like slightly wary having maybe like outsiders in the city, just because it's not that common. So, yeah.
I thought your people were friendly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised here too, honestly. Whatever, we'll get out quick. It's fine.
Oh, I guess Rock. Will...
Rock,
Didn't
why,
exactly roll out the welcome wagon for us, huh?
why are we here?
Are you asking Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Rock will kind of like.
Perhaps we should go someplace a little bit more private than the town square to see.
Yeah, and she's gonna she's been here for a few weeks, she knows her way around. She's gonna kind of grab you guys and try and drag you off into like this back alleyway and then mug you. No. She's gonna like.
That's what she does to her dogs.
Yes, of course.
Roll initiative.
No.
Well.
No, roll for detection against her pickpocketing when she robs you all. No. But she's gonna like pull you guys off into like maybe not like a creepy alley, but just like kind of a back street with like
Roll the 10.
Are
an
there,
initiative.
No, for detection against pickpocketing.
Oh,
Nice.
are
She
there,
doesn't even have
are there
pickpocketing
boys on the
talent.
back street?
Just stop it.
Yeah, they're back already. All right.
And
You.
you boys are back in town.
BACKT''S.
I literally hate it.
Alright, we should just do fantasy spellings for everything.
Alright. Yeah, so she's gonna like pull you back, and she's going to kind of, in a quieter voice that you don't typically hear from Rock, from what you've seen of her, and she's gonna say, "Listen, guys, we don't have anything to do here. It's fine that they're, not that hospitable. I needed to meet here so we could hopefully catch a boat to Trosk. That's where we need to go. Once we get there, I can explain everything if you guys would trust me and stick with me. The problem is, these past few weeks I've been waiting on you. I've been trying to convince them to help us, and take us as close as possible to Trosk, but they just won't help. I hate. Stop it. Put that away.
I need a fan like that. It's so hot in here.
You should do TST, like strain
Street.
to
Did
street.
you ever watch the Ja'am episode of Monster Factory? JA''AM.
What?
No,
Oh god. Is that some
It's-
anime you
no,
use?
it's the Monster Factory is a YouTube series.
Oh, is it?
It's
Okay.
great.
Can you point out this place on a map?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also has it spelled.
TROSK.
God.
It's right here. So I don't know if they can see. So you guys are all
We're here. We're in the middle, like right there.
yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's here. It's Trosk. So
Oh,
it's quite a
right.
bit like
That's
near the
far.
end. That's why Rock wants to take a riverboat.
Yeah, I want to take a riverboat. about now.
You know, and then they can like accommodate taking mounts. So that's what she's been trying to negotiate these past few weeks.
Okay.
Clearly not to much.
It says mist swamps. I thought it said moist swamps.
Moist.
I mean, they probably are.
Yeah.
Knowledge of trade routes. What is the primary thing that's usually shipped to or from Trask?
Okay. You can check that.
7.
You're not sure because that area is pretty secretive.
Mm-hmm.
It's another house that mainly resides on that part of the river.
Mm-hmm.
House. Well, as you're figuring this out, Rock is going to go on to tell you all. Kind of continuing what she's saying. She's going to say, they won't help us. I've been trying to get them to take us as close as they can, but it's house contention. Is that how you say it? Contention territory. I don't know. They really have something out for those guys, is what she's going to kind of say.
Which house is that going to be?
Contention. It's, do you have, like, scrying knowledge?
Probably, yeah.
Probably. I'll just assume you kind of know.
I'm just wanting to make a note of that.
Oh, yeah. House. Okay.
How's it
What's up?
I
how's
know
it
you
spelled?
said house contention. Like, I
Mhm.
thought you were saying this, like, tension.
No, it's that's what it's called. It's K apostrophe
Of course.
TEN shin, like your shin of your leg.
Okay, yeah, got it.
Yeah. So I guess from just general knowledge that you have, you know that they're like the house furthest down on the Serpent River, and that they're most closely aligned with Thera. So, whether or not you share that party or that knowledge with the party,
Sure.
But yeah, so Rock's gonna kind of be like, yeah, you know, I don't know what's going on with those guys, but they really, yeah, they don't want to go into that territory, so they won't agree to, you know, they won't agree to take us there, but. You know, I think from what I've picked up on the past few weeks, they're a little on edge about this, you know, house contention or whatever. It's possible that's why they're a little, you know, aggressive towards you. And she's going to gesture to Jack and all. And so I wouldn't take it personally. It sounds like they're in some rough waters with contention, but...
Rough waters,
So does that mean that all the shipments between here and there have stopped, and that they're not shipped?
Yeah, could they take us even just to like the border?
That's what I've been trying to find out. Problem is apparently Contention owns pretty much the Serpent River almost all the way to where we are now, to Lake Band. They don't... House Visterman doesn't own much south of here. I've been trying to see if they could take us close, maybe halfway to where House Contention's like main city resides. So, you know, kind of maybe we could get away with it being dropped off and then still having like a few days journey to Trosk, but I don't know. They haven't really been listening to me, being just, you know, a random quester from not even much relation to the city, but I'm hoping now that you all are here, maybe we can, as a group, convince them to accommodate Thrall, because, you know, they don't want to, you know, stir up their relations with Thrall, you know. It's an important ally that they have, so I was hoping you guys could, maybe we could work something out with them together.
Well, luckily,
Skarengo
said that he wanted us to leave the city as quick as possible. Perhaps we might actually need to call on him and see what his...
Out of character, my house is House Syrtis, right? That was Cliff City.
Yeah.
Okay. What?
Yeah, I mean, he said he was, like, to Skarengo was like, Syrtis.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
That's because he was acknowledging you're from House Syrtis. So,
Is it as much as I dislike this idea? Would Contention accept us if we presented ourselves as representatives of House Sirtis rather than Miss Driven?
I don't know too much about. This is Rock talking.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about the ways of the Scrang. I just have, from what I've heard, Contention is pretty closed off to other alliances. I don't think they really have any, contact, I guess, with.
Okay.
But it might be a little better than saying we're from Contention. But the problem is that we'd be on their riverboats, so it'd be hard to cover up. I mean, it would be something we could try if it becomes a problem, like if we run into them. But I don't know if they have much contact with the other Scrang families. All that I've heard is that they're Theron scum. That's what I've been hearing, and I'd like to agree with it. Thera sucks.
Could you explain to us more what the issue is going on there that you need our help with?
In Trosk.
Other than the fact that they're like Theron scum.
Well, I personally am in this because I've heard that there's some ways we could get back in the Therans in this, but that's not the main point. I just really hate Therans, as you know from my past. But I think a lot of people in Barsay probably have some stuff out for Thera. So, but no, it's much more than that. I mean, I'd really like for you all to meet my friend so she can explain what's going on. This is kind of her quest that she's heading from Jasperi, but there's just trust me, it's very important. We think there's in Trosk, where a lot of Jasperi questers reside, there's been more and more arrivals of horrors, and we're afraid that this could spread to the point where there's some sort of tear that lets horrors in, even if the scourge isn't happening. We're trying to find a way to prevent this, and it's a really big deal that no one wants to take seriously. So
like a portal to the Nether Realms?
Something like that. We're not quite sure. She's still there doing a lot of research, but I was afraid you all wouldn't take it seriously as well, which is why I wanted to take you there before I explain it so you can see it for yourself. But I mean, I know you're just mercenaries of Thrall. It's not really your job to save the entirety of Barsave, but maybe she can explain more when we get there, so you can see, the gravity of this situation, if you all would be willing to help.
I'm down.
You perked up a lot, Jack and all. Why is that?
I mean, you're a fellow researcher. You said your friend was a researcher. I am too. I'd love to see her work.
All right. Rock's gonna kind of smile a little bit, I love the educated sorts.
And because Japanel's more comfortable with horrors than he is with other people.
Okay, well, rude first.
Rude.
Am I incorrect though?
Or the other what? Just anybody? Yeah.
No need to elaborate.
Yeah.
Erase the S.
Boy.
No. One.
We are still having terrible gender confusion.
There we go.
Okay, don't listen to him. He's on his bullshit again.
Listen, I understand. Trust me, she's done much research. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that you all would probably get along quite well. So,
you can just drown.
Yeah, that's true.
Give me that
smiley face.
Expensive.
Well, using up all your ink.
What is?
It's
Oh God!
What's
Are you like scratching it
Yeah,
on
on the slate.
like asleep? But then
I'm
how do you
imagining
erase
this is like
it?
a horrible like cross-hatching of words at this
Chalk.
point.
Oh,
Blackboard.
Maybe.
Is
Is
it?
it?
Blackboard's a
Okay,
minute.
that makes sense. Okay. I asked if you were carving into it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm
I
just
was
imagining how
confused.
awful that would look by this point.
That does seem more Tristan style.
Hey, just tattoo everything you want to say on yourself. That's easy.
Or on the person you want to say it to.
Oh,
It makes you
God.
consider your words, huh?
No.
Okay, no. Back off.
But yeah, Rock's gonna kind of be like, I know, sorry I'm kind of dragging you guys into this. It's just, I feel like, I feel something special from you guys that doesn't typically happen from a lot of parties I see traveling around. A lot of them are just out for the gold and the rewards and, don't really care to actually risk too much to help people. But I feel like, I don't know, maybe you all actually care. Maybe you don't, but this place we're going to, Trosk, it's in the middle of the Mist Swamps, which is an incredibly dangerous area. Would you all still be okay with me dragging you along there?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, we care for sure. We're happy to help.
I do not see any issue in going to the Mist Swamps, however. I think your plan in trying to lead us into this dangerous place without telling us anything may have been a bit misguided. You might want to learn to trust us in the future, Rock. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
She's gonna kind of
That was the most dad thing you said.
She's gonna be a little
dad
shook.
actions in our room.
well, you see, I wasn't. She's gonna try and defend herself now. She's like a little stressed. I wasn't trying to put you in date. I mean, you see, Trosk is like the home. Like a lot of questers of Jasper reside there. It's not that difficult to get there. It's the areas around it. I wasn't gonna take you into danger yet until I explained everything.
Don't. I'm gonna start patting her
Yeah.
on the shoulder. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
like I'm
How
just
much
reaching.
reach is that for a dwarf?
Yeah.
A orc?
A big reach.
Yeah. How
She's
tall
like
is
7 feet tall. Or
So
something.
it's a 3 foot. It's a 3 foot reach up for
Damn.
me. I'm just grazing you a little bit. Do not worry.
Listen, just more will be explained when we get there. You guys will be fine, but we just gotta make it there. We gotta do something about this house contention, obviously. And if they're aligned with Thera, then I already don't like them. So
Yeah, fuck those guys.
they're kind of on my shit list. No, she doesn't say that, but I say that because I don't like Thera. Anyways, so yeah, I guess she'll just be like, I don't know, do you guys want to try and go? I've been talking with people at the docks. They kind of know me now. I think they kind of hate me because I've been bothering them for the past 3 weeks. But do you guys want to go, maybe with you guys here, we can convince them to let us
Yeah, let's
go
go.
along? All right.
Perhaps maybe instead of going necessarily to the docks in the middle of the day and talking to the reputable people, perhaps maybe it'd behoove us to look into someone who could perhaps smuggle us there. Smugglers.
Ooh. Pirates. She's gonna kind of perk up. She's gonna be like, sounds fun.
I hope we run into those salmon shorted pirates again.
Oh
God, they
my.
were so fashionable.
With no clothes, no shirt.
No, they
Just-
just had the Sperry topsiders
Yeah,
and
the boat
pastel
shoes.
khaki shorts.
Wow, the best pirates. Well, they
Miss
were from
Moray.
Sirius, right? Sirius?
Yeah.
Man, your home is cool. All right, they know fashion. All right, well, and Rock's gonna be like, I mean, like people aligned with house fishermen that can smuggle us, or just completely like a third party.
I don't think it matters as long as we have the gold. That's what smugglers are for, or so I'm led to believe.
It sounds.
Unfortunately,
Dangerous,
you're
but-
correct.
I guess.
Do we have enough
I mean,
gold?
I did not know.
Yeah, I don't have much to my name, but if you guys have enough to cover me, It seems a little dangerous, though.
More.
More dangerous than the swamp? On foot?
On
I guess it's worth a try. On goat. And just,
I didn't say your feet.
I don't know if there'd be many people traveling down the river. I wonder what they would be smuggling. I don't know. I guess that's something to figure out.
If trade relations is broken down between this house and the house down the river, the smugglers may just be smuggling previously legal goods between the two. Something that they can't get that far from the ocean. Saltwater fish, perhaps maybe even salt itself.
Worth a try.
I guess it's worth a try.
Goods from Thrall are always in need in places like that. Everyone loves dwarven crafts.
Do we want to... Do we want...
Straight from Words of War.
Straight from what?
Words of War. It's Dragon Age jokes.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, that's something one of the merchants says, like,
Oh, really?
24/7 in the town. It's like, Dwarven craft straight from Words of War. And you
Oh.
just
Oh
hear
my
it all the
god.
time.
Oh, that's so annoying.
Constantly.
I never played Dragon Age.
Haley's gonna be angry about that.
Haley, if you're watching.
Yeah, I don't know if you know Haley, but she's like obsessed with Dragon Age, like
Yeah.
1,000%. So, but yeah, so she'll just be like, I guess Brock will be like, I mean, it's worth a shot, but I am concerned about what the people of that Sastrango man, what would he think if we suddenly disappeared on a smuggler's ship? I don't want to hurt. I don't want to do.
Oh no, my
illegal
spotless
things.
reputation.
I mean, if he can't provide us a ship to go where we want to go, then, like, who is he to judge?
He did say he would help us get there.
But perhaps we give him the benefit of the doubt. We give him a chance, and then but simultaneously maybe we should work the other angle.
Maybe split into two groups and
Perhaps.
see what details we can get from this.
Which of us do you think would be?
Let's give him a chance. Frog's gonna roll.
Well, of
her
course you would
eyes.
say that for someone who's not an elf.
Who's not an elf?
Yeah. Because he accuses like every elf he sees of murder.
Oh. Ouch. You know, it happens. Murder and such. So
It happens, murder and such is a really good quote from our whole
you know, it
Oh,
happens.
that should have been our group name.
It happens. Murder and such? Oh, yeah. Murder and such consultation.
Wait, what is the group name? I
You
already
can,
forgot.
you can change it in a year and a day.
Or you can just change it now. I don't give it.
Wasn't it Fate's Okay Mercenaries?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Fate's-
Oh, that looks great.
It's cuter than murder and such, but I do like.
I do like murder and such.
I also like murder and such.
Not
Oh.
out of character. I
Oh,
like it.
yeah.
Yeah. Same character.
Anyways,
Murder and such will be
That can
my
be,
name.
I was gonna say that can be our like
Rival mercenary.
when we run into a rival mercenary group. That's what their name will be.
Oh
Murder
boy.
and Such
When we-
Incorporated, Mercenaries of Thera.
Oh wow.
When we
Oh,
decide
amazing.
to
and
have,
such.
when we decide to do that trope where it's like an anti-party.
I love that.
Oh, that would be funny.
Alright. Now that I have that idea floating around in my head.
Destiny's Amazing Assassin.
Oh my god. I hate that. That's really awesome. Why did you guys make that your name?
So we are an assassin.
The DA.
Yeah, I tried to bring that up multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
All my murdering names got shot down, so.
Because we don't murder.
Oh my murder.
Remember it was Primo Murder Boys was like one of them, and that got shot down.
God.
premium murder boys.
All of Missif's suggestions got shot down
Yeah, that was true also.
because they all had Missif's name in it.
You're like Missif and Fate's okay mercenaries. Fate's okay mercenaries and Missif.
Something was like
Featured
mom,
Missif.
right? It was like
Uh-huh.
it was like Missif's okay.
It was
Mercenaries.
mostly okay mercenaries.
Oh yeah, Missif's
Mostly
Well,
okay
no.
mercenaries.
mostly okay. Mostly okay. Missif's mercenaries. Yeet is mommy.
Stop.
I think I said that last
God,
time.
I wish we
I'm
included
sad.
heat in our
Yeah,
names
but-
somehow. What the fuck were we thinking?
Missif's mostly okay mercenaries is mom. M''M'.
I'm upset.
Nobody should have given me the power to use apostrophes.
No one should have let you talk again. Why are you talking right now?
Vow of silence.
Vow of silence.
Anyways, yeah, Rock is gonna suggest, splitting up the party, I guess. One, maybe go talk to the dock people at the daytime, and one at nighttime for some shadier business. Is that what you guys want?
I mean, if it's split up at times, we can all go to both.
Yeah,
That's true.
I mean, we could go talk to Scringo
God.
during the day, and if he won't help us, then we go to the docks at night, I suppose.
Okay, can do that. Do we want to go as a whole group?
Sure.
Or do we want to take our most charismatic members?
I accept.
Oh boy.
How about we let well, you're not speaking right now. She's gonna look at Triskin.
Yeah, that was convenient.
You three, you can come along, but let us handle the speaking. You know me, I have
Is
quite
she
a way
referring to
with
Missif?
words. Missif and Frill and Rock
okay.
will
Yeah.
kind of head it up. I have quite a way with words, and she's gonna crack her hand.
Love it, love it.
I mean, if we're gonna punch him, I'm good at punching.
I'll give you the cue, and what should the cue be?
How about you punch him?
How about you yell?
That'll be the cue. Yelling and punching.
All of us will start beating his ass.
I'll yell-
She punches him. We all just kick him in the ribs.
Yeah, exactly. That's the cue, you guys. I'll yell, punch him, as I punch him, and then you guys know that you're supposed to also do that.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right.
Its plan cannot fail.
It's all right. Let's do it. Okay. This really has no elf and sword.
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
He's saying
Wait.
he's pretty when he stabs people.
Oh. Wow. He's got such an inflated ego.
I mean, he is an elf.
All those
It
Mariel
happens.
comparisons really did it to him.
Sword talk. You want this? Are you talking about do?
Doesn't help.
He wants to use it. He wants to have his sword talk for him.
I see.
Oh.
No, we're just punching.
Can you do that? I thought she could only talk to you.
I think he's referring more towards aggressive negotiations.
Oh.
Well, you see.
Are you? I don't know. I genuinely don't understand what you're saying.
It's probably
See,
fine.
sword talk.
But I thought she could only talk to you.
Gonna make him
It's a yes
talk
or no.
with your sword?
Can she only talk to you?
Oh, this is much worse for you all considering you're thrall. At least I'm
A nobody.
not associated with anything except
But
for
when you took
the
a vow
passion.
of silence, are
Me.
you gonna speak?
I think he's saying that perhaps Dew can possess his body just like the old sword can. And
No.
that he's-
You just see
Maybe
Triskin
you can
slowly
break
turn
his
into
vow
a
of
spring.
silence.
His eyes just roll back into his head. And,
Perhaps we should just continue his vow of silence and move on.
I think that's for the best.
Another blissful 30 days.
But yeah, I guess Rock is tired of talking
I wanna
with
keep
you
trying to
nonsense
explain
idiots.
things.
So she's going to start walking off and expecting you all to follow her.
Missif follows.
Good.
Okay, yeah, we're all following.
2 days and 10 hours.
Lord.
And she's gonna go head up towards the house that he had mentioned before, because she was also paying attention to that conversation. And, you know, I guess she'll kind of, like, look back at you guys for, like, some sort of approval as she goes to, like, knock on the door. Okay, she's gonna knock. And the door will open slightly.
I was really hoping she was gonna knock it down like the last one.
Listen, I'm not
Is that
just
in
some
character?
brute animal.
That was in character, but whispering.
Good.
She's gonna give you a dirty look. And then she's gonna turn back around and be like, the Scring answered the door, and she's gonna ask to Scringo. You know, they'll be like, yeah, or they'll be like, what business do you have here? And she'll kind of just be like, yeah, I'm with, you know, these mercenaries of Thrall. He told us to come here, and that he would assist us in whatever we need. So then the person will run off and go fetch him. And I guess in a few minutes he'll.
Is it just one person at the door?
Yeah.
Do they let us in?
Yeah,
does
they
it
like
close
let you into like the first little like, I guess almost kind of like
The
waiting
Yeah.
room kind of thing.
Is it nice?
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, yeah, it's fine.
Is this all like Scring architecture that's in this city?
Yeah.
Like, kind of water integrated with land.
Yeah, it's like a lot of stuff is like woven from these reeds that hold up the city, like all like the floors. And from there, it's very like I guess nature-y based.
I'm gonna go over to one of the decorative fountains and just fill up my canteen.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. There are decorative fountains in here. I'm glad you understand. But
I don't know that they're decorative, but
oh, they're nice. I mean,
they're all bidets.
oof. That bidet water though. But he's gonna come downstairs, I guess, as you're in the middle of filling up your water at his fountain. He's gonna be like, okay, and walk up to, I guess Rock is in the front, kind of. You guys are right behind her, and he'll be like, what can I do for you all? You know, kind of forcing a smile. You can tell he's not like. It's not like he's like tired of you all. It's just kind of like he's a little on edge. So he's just trying to be helpful, it seems. So he's like, what can I do to help you all? And he's gonna like be pretty genuine towards Rock.
I know it's been like 30 minutes since he spoke to us last.
Yeah, of course.
But we need to go to Trask for reasons.
And you need our help to get there. Is that what you're asking?
We need a boat, preferably.
All right. Come with me to the docks. Let's talk this over with the sailors up there at the docks. And he'll kind of, you know, sigh, I guess, but try and still kind of be positive. Just be like, we'll see what we can do. And he'll start.
hopefully pretty soon we'll all be out of your hair.
That'd be
Out
good.
of your scales.
Oh yeah.
I'm not that familiar with him yet.
What? They don't have hair.
That would be good. It's nothing personal, truly. It's just that the tensions are high. You know how it is.
I'm glad to know that it is not personal. For a second there I thought it was maybe that you just hated Thrall.
Of course not. We're very closely aligned with Thrall. Being in between two major cities, Europa and Thrall.
I'm just kind of in the back of this group, just like looking over someone's shoulder, like at him.
He's gonna notice and be like,
Yeah.
You see, I was always willing to assist mercenaries of Thrall. I would love to keep such our warm relations with them. It's just simply concerns that I was concerned up until I was sure that you all were mercenaries of Thrall. It's, easy to disguise yourselves these days with magic and such. So I'm glad to know that you all are truly mercenaries as well, and I would be willing to help you. It's just a rough time, I guess, and we're working hard to keep all of our relations positive. So, with that, let me see if I can help you all, assist you getting where you need to go to the best that we can. And he's gonna try and walk outside to lead you all to the docks. If you guys aren't gonna block him in or whatever.
Nope.
Does Rock punch him?
She,
She doesn't punch him. I won't block him.
She is here, right, and he's in front of her, and he starts to walk past her to go out the door through this little alcove, and then behind his back she's gonna be pretending to punch the air behind him, but she never yells punch him, so the cue has not been initiated. Probably better to not punch him yet. So it's still up in the air though. So he's gonna walk out of the house, I guess.
I'm gonna swat at Rock's hands as oh my god.
Listen, she just wants to fight. Alright. Can't hold her back.
As Rock
her.
starts punching, Triska's gonna and then
Fight? Punk? Still remember what you did.
Oh.
I'm gonna give you a look and be and then pat you on your shoulder as she passes you. Roll her eyes a little, and then follow this guy as they go to the dock. And
frown and fondle Dew's handle.
Ew!
Please don't say it like that.
What?
Jackanoff, perhaps maybe you should walk on the other side of Escarengo so that he doesn't pay attention to these two. He's gonna want to keep his eye on you.
What? Oh, I don't get it, but okay.
I'm sorry,
I don't do that.
What?
I guess what do you mean he's going to want to keep his eye on you?
Because he doesn't like you.
He doesn't like any of us, but whatever. We're gonna go up and do that, I guess.
You guys are
y'all
real slick,
shadow
being quiet
boxing and I guess fondling your sword.
Very platonic fondle.
Listen.
Yeah, sure.
Rock's gonna nod her head and be I mean, to be honest, it just seems like he doesn't like Jack at all. Maybe something to do with that, Sirda's trauma or whatever.
It's
Whatever.
definitely not my fault.
Sure. And she's gonna, she's not gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this. So it would be really awkward if she said it. You guys have seen Avatar: The Last Airbender, of course, right?
No, I want Avatar: The Last Airbender to exist in this universe.
Yeah. She almost just referenced it until I realized that that's not a thing.
What was it? What was you gonna say?
I don't think what?
My cabbages.
Oh, my cabbages. No, I think I thought about this in the last episode, but I don't know if I actually ever said it. But the whole dude turning into a sword thing, it just I think I did say it. The whole my girlfriend turned into the moon.
That's rough, buddy.
That's rough, buddy. So I just imagine Rock patting Triska and be that's rough, buddy. I'm sorry, that just amuses me personally, so I had to say it. Moving on.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course. It's just I don't know. I feel like you have some weird connection with Dew, even though you only knew her for half an episode. But his girlfriend turned into a sword.
Yeah,
it happens.
He did penetrate her.
Stop it!
Oh my god!
We're ending the stream.
Yeah, we gotta go now.
That's it for Myth Skyrim.
Join us next week.
No, don't join us. This whole thing is canceled. We're not doing this anymore. Anyway. I'm broken. Okay. What am I saying anymore? Yeah, no, you guys are just gonna follow him to the dock. It doesn't really matter what order you go in, but I guess I imagine you all kind of goofing off behind him like immature children.
That's accurate.
Yeah. He's just gonna kind of keep walking forward, like very clearly, like physically having to keep his head forward and not be like looking back at you guys. He's just gonna kind of like be like walking forward and just keep walking forward, one foot after another. Got it. You'll be there soon.
I'm gonna make it easy for him to not pay attention to everyone goofing off.
Okay.
I'm gonna make some small talk with him.
Okay.
So when did the troubles between Lake Van and this other house start?
Well, I mean, it's always been problems. It's always been rough waters. That joke again.
But I always thought it was more of like a friendly rivalry.
As of lately, it's been feeling more like house contention has started maybe getting more from Thera, more influence from Thera. So naturally, us being sided with Thrall and them being sided with Thera, it adds even more of a rivalry between the two as we try and assist our allies. I mean, especially as of recently, they've been much more aggressive about seizing control of the river all the way from the Mist Swamps to Lake Band. So while we try and live peacefully here and just do our business amongst the rivers and enjoy our lifestyle, they've been a little more aggressive lately, and I fear it's because of their alignment with Thera. Obviously, Thera at some point is going to try and reclaim Barsave as they do, and this spreading of house contention up the river, I feel like is just some sort of foreshadowing of maybe Thera's coming influence in Barsave. So it's just got tensions a little high at the moment. I hope you can understand.
I more than understand. I mean, that's part of the reason why we are here as emissaries of Thrall. It's our duty to make sure that any incursion by the Theran Empire or their allies is checked.
Yes, that would be lovely. Maybe even though we haven't been as welcoming to you all here, just from general concerns for our own safety, it would maybe this trip you all need to take to Trosk, entering their territory, maybe it could almost help us out a little bit. Maybe help restake our claim a little bit on this river. They've really claimed almost all the way up to where we are now in Lake Band. It's quite not fair that we have no stake even south of here, even just a little bit. I mean, they have the whole rest of the Serpent River afterwards. It's just, they've just been so aggressive lately. We don't really want to fight back, but I mean, when are they gonna come for us next? They can have the river, but when is the river not enough? We're just everyone's a little on edge that they're gonna lose this town that we've had here for many years, that we've grown together. I mean, this city is living, as you all can see, by these reeds that support it. I mean, we're all one big ecosystem here in this lake, and we don't want to lose it. So it's just been concerning with their recent pact with Thera. But maybe it would be good for us to send a few ships a little further down, a little further south on the Serpent River, and at least scope things out and see if we run into them, maybe talk about some sort of agreement. I guess we could find some nobility to come along. We'll have to talk things out at the dock, but
Oh, is that what the nobility live?
No. But more so the nobility could come along to hopefully help form some sort of agreement between the two houses, if necessary. Or it could always be some sort of just before doing such, maybe we could implement some sort of like recon mission to just scope out, and along the way drop you all off as close as we can get to your location. Though it could be quite dangerous, and I wouldn't want to put you all in such a bad situation. Though you all are mercenaries of Thrall, and they are sided with Thera, so it could be an interesting time for you to report back to Thrall if anything does happen.
Interesting is one way of putting it.
Interesting.
I did not expect working from Thrall would be a safe job.
I'm glad you did not expect that. Barsafe is, I'm sure as you know, quite a terrible, dangerous land, but it is our own, so we must, stake our claim in it. And
No, I'm not doing anything.
no, it's okay. We must fight for what's rightfully ours, just as we cannot allow Thera to come back into our land, just as we cannot allow House Contention to take our home from us. So I'm glad that hopefully you all can see it slightly from our perspective, just the stress that we've been under lately. But for... He's gonna kind of turn towards wherever Jack and all is peeking out from.
Well, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just walking.
Oh, you're just walking?
Yeah.
And he's gonna be as I've said, we have quite good relations with House Sirtis. I mean, we're at least neutral towards positive, at the least. So I won't say anything about you being here. If you don't say anything about us keeping you here.
No
Let's just say you were never here.
Sounds good.
All right. He's gonna kind of relax a little, and be he's just very panicked, obviously. Just slightly. What's up?
So I was gonna ask, where did you hear about me anyway?
I mean, we have good relations with Sirtis, of course. We have ships traveling from... I mean, if you all wanted to go up to Cliff City, we could easily take you there all the way. I'm just saying, we have this trade route, we have this access to the House Sirtis because we do have a good relationship with them, so naturally we hear about what's going on. I mean, of course, Skrang are quite the talkative folk, and
Hideous gossips.
we gossip quite a bit, so as you can imagine,
That too.
word gets around.
Unfortunately, Cliff City is not where the fates deem to take us at the moment.
Well, that's unfortunate. I would much rather take you all to Sirtis territory than Contention, but, I guess what fun would it be to go to a place that's, reasonably safe and appealing.
Exactly.
So I'm, I'll see what we can do for you all.
That sounds lovely.
And I guess at this point you all have been talking and walking for a bit. You're probably nearing the docks at this point. So he's going to walk up to some of the docksmen, and Rock is kind of you're gonna notice her kind of walking with a bit of a swagger. She's gonna be like, yeah, I rule this place kind of type deal, and as all of the dock people kind of see her come in, they kind of are like,
She really does have a reputation here.
Yeah. She's been hanging out here quite a lot, you can tell. And he's gonna talk to some of the deckhands for a little bit, and you're gonna notice kind of a bit of a heated type conversation, well, we can't do that, and well, you must do that, we can't just back down and blah blah blah, and kind of until the dockhand kind of gives up a little bit, and Skrango will walk back up to you all and be like, how would you all like to be mercenaries on a recon mission down the river to see if we can get any sight of Contention's activities on the river, as well as as well as dropping you all off at your location. He's gonna notice the dollar sign, or I guess the gold/silver sign, and be like, I mean, is taking you to where you need to go not enough?
Oh no, it is. That's that, and food.
We can supply you with everything you'll need for this journey.
Perfect.
It should only be slightly over a day. It would be what the deckhands are thinking would be for the best is setting out at nightfall and traveling through the night. You all can rest on the ship. Spending the next day traveling about halfway to our destination, and then as night begins to fall is when you'll be closest to the Contention territory. We're thinking it might be better to move through the night to be slightly less obvious on the river, or we can travel just in the day if you all would be more comfortable having your sight better, I guess, on the river.
I'm perfectly comfortable in the night as I am in the day. We dwarves are used to the dark.
I see. You must be living in that mountain.
Must be a fast river. It's like a 3-week journey on foot.
No, that's just to the territory. That is not to the
It's not
city.
to the place.
That would be why.
Yeah, we were almost like to their territory already because it almost
Yeah.
extends to Lake Ban.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's saying is they can only take us one boat's day
Yeah.
of the journey.
So-
I thought they were dropping us off.
What
at
is
the
the?
city.
Do you know about how long the journey is total by boat?
So total, if I took you all the way to
Not that we're asking.
to go there,
Yeah.
well, if you were taken all the way to House Contention's city, it would be about 2 days on a boat. But from there, it's even further down the river to Trosk. So we would actually, if you wanted to continue the riverboat all the way to Trosk, we would have to pass through their city, which would not happen. So what I was thinking we could do is there's a lake, Lake Pyros, that is about halfway between our city and their city, down the Serpent River, which is typically where we owned up to in the past. We would take you to halfway between our cities, going further if possible, if there's no warning signs, and dropping you off in a forest area right before the Badlands. There are many cares in the area, many abandoned cares. If you mercenaries like treasure, you could explore them. But past that, you can continue down, and it would be with your mounts, probably about a 3 or 4 day journey on mounted from where we could drop you off. We could supply you with rations to take on the boat, as well as those last 3 or 4 days. But you would have to pass through some forest and then some plains. I would recommend avoiding the House Contention territory on the rivers. We could get you maybe closer to 16 Towers, which is their city, but it would have to be something we decide on the fly on the river.
Do you have perhaps any maps you can give us of previous overland routes that you guys had? Old ones that you've scouted out previously. It sounds like most of our journey is going to wind up being overland unless we find something in 16 towers.
We might have some of the such. I would have to go check our libraries in town to find some slightly more detailed maps than I assume than what you have at the moment. we don't know the area too well. Typically, we don't travel too much into the Badlands, but we might be able to find you something to at least ensure your safe travels to Trosk. So, plus, I mean, it seems like your friend here, and he's going to gesture to Rock, has been to Trosk many times, so, it's possible that she can help you navigate as well, and she'll just kind of like nod to that. And she'll add on, though typically, being a neutral party, I can travel down the rivers without too much of trouble, but I could probably help with the general directions.
Hold on a second there. If you're a neutral party that can travel down the river without much trouble, why can't you just take us all the way there?
No, that was Rock.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't change my accent.
I was a little bit confused.
Yeah. I realized
yeah.
until after that I like kept talking in his accent. No, that was Rock. Rock is
Okay.
just gonna be like, yeah, I'm a pretty neutral party, so I can travel without too much trouble.
Could.
But I
Used to travel.
now that I'm with Thrall mercenaries, maybe not as much, but
I suspect once we get into the thick of it, we'll probably have to wind up hiding our cloaks.
that'd probably be for the best.
My +1 to Mystic Defense cloak saying it, so.
I thought they were +2.
Yeah, it was
They're
+2.
+2.
It's like- Right.
What did you guys write down explicitly that he said your cloak could do?
I wrote down explicitly +2 mystic defense.
Yeah, +2.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
That's all I wrote down.
Is that all?
And
you
that
all
it
put
was
down?
gold.
It's
Yeah.
a gold cloak.
Did you put down anything
It's
more
kind of
specific?
flashy.
I think that's the only thing you told us.
It was not, but I also don't want to tell you if you don't remember or didn't note it.
+2 mystic defense.
Did you write anything down?
Just have to go back and watch the video.
It's
Ah,
a gold,
no.
Thrall
it's a
cloak.
gold cloak of thrall. That's
Ah.
what I put.
Well, you'll probably figure it out at some point in your travels. So,
Are they like the Hobbit cloaks where we put them over us and they look like rocks and we can hide?
no, but
Not
they
elves.
What?
They're not elves.
Well, nobody remember they get them from the elves.
Yeah, they get them from the
Yeah.
elves. Those don't hide.
I won't tell you what he
Denouncements.
said, but you remember him saying something about paying attention to them. So, pay attention to your cloaks. They might have something. They might have some special values to them if you watch or listen. So, but that's the biggest hint I'm giving you, fucks, because you didn't write it down what I said.
We'll just
I said something very slightly specific but slightly mysterious, but
We may have all missed it because it was at the end of the session as well.
yeah. Well, just pay attention to your cloaks then. Something might happen. But
All I know is that it's got a symbol of Thrall on it,
Mhm.
and they're magical,
and they're gold.
and they're gold, and they get +2 mystic defense.
Yep. Well, there's one more, but you'll figure it out. All right. Should be fine. But yeah, so basically you have if there's anything I'm forgetting, he'll fetch the map for you all. It'll be slightly more detailed, but not like the best map, but it should get you there safely. And if everything's correct, you all yeah, we can do that in a second. But we'll travel through the night, and hopefully get to Trosk in a little over a day. Getting there at nighttime, is that fine with you all to take these riverboats or whatever?
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
So
Let's go.
so while we take our break, Tiscarango will help prepare rations for everyone. Your party is now just taking a break, chilling by the docks as you see Scrang kind of lugging these crates and stuff for you all. Food and whatnot, rations and everything you might need on your journeys. I guess you all bring your mounts. And
Yeah.
there's like a stable type area on the ship to keep them, so you can transport them. The only problem is Doc. Doc kind of like is kind of large. They kind of like struggle to shove him on. He's like a little scared of water, so he's kind of like, but they managed to get him onto the ship and like put him down in like the.
Put him down.
No, put him in the stable area. No, never. Rock would end everyone's life if that happened. She already murdered like an entire city at one point. I don't know if I told you that, but she would do that again probably. No, they're just
Totally would.
preparing stuff for you all. He gets the map, and you guys are getting ready to set out at nightfall. So from at that point, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes. So please stand by, and thank you for watching again. Yay! Yeah. Bye.
Nice.
Bye.
Can we open a window? It is.
Hello, everyone. Alright. Thank you for waiting through the break with us. Back to where we were before. The party's about to get on a riverboat to take them about halfway down the Serpent River to the house Contention. That's what. I'm just so bad with words. All right, the house Contention territory. And it's going to be about a day's long journey, so they're getting ready and preparing all of their supplies to put on the
so
ship.
many frogs in the river.
Those jubs, they're out, you know?
Oh my god.
I don't know if you can hear it, but there's like a ton of frogs making loud noises outside.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you can hear them.
Yeah.
Can
It's
you
not
hear these
me this
frogs?
time.
YN.
I don't have any frog sound effects, but I do have a rooster. What's that?
That's basically the same thing.
Yeah. Roosters are essentially the frogs at the farm.
Yeah. Similar size to jubs as well.
Can you guys hear it?
Mm-hmm.
You can't? Oh, no? I
Yeah,
can't hear it.
It's that really high-pitched sound that only old people can hear.
Oh my god.
It's only young people,
Ouch.
like
Yeah.
12 to 18.
Oh, why is that not working? Anyways.
It's broken forever.
It is. Oh, wait.
Ripperoni.
Now I can hear it.
Okay.
There we go. Alright. That one sounds like it's dying. Alright.
Are you done showing off your cock?
Stop it!
We gotta go. I can't do this anymore.
Stream's over.
So, has a day passed though?
We're just bored.
I mean, do you want to spend a day in the city before you want to
No.
head out like that night?
Yeah.
So it's,
Triskin's vow of silence wants to spend a day in the city.
I mean, you can try and convince them. Your party, but you're not speaking, so it's kind of hard.
I mean, I would think that it would.
It's gonna take 3 days to get there or something.
Yeah.
How long did it
No.
take us to get to the city? This floating city?
It took us a day because we went by airship.
Are we tired? What I'm imagining is we spend a day traveling, we get to the city, and now we're immediately traveling again, which maybe is fine, depending on your,
I mean,
your character.
They suggested leaving in the middle of the night and we could sleep on the beginning
So you
of
get
the
to
boat.
rest on the boat.
That's
That's the first
Oh,
thing you're doing.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that's
Yeah.
fine.
And it's gonna
Triskin
take
is fine.
how long to get to the city?
It'll take a little over a day to get to where they're gonna drop you off.
And then from there, it's how far to the city?
Like 4 days.
4 days.
4 days mounted.
Mountain?
Mount, like on your
Oh,
mounts.
mountain.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, so by the time you get to Charles, it'll definitely be.
So you're gonna drop us off near I'm gonna butcher this. Catreshero?
What?
This city.
Oh, that's that's the house Contention. No, it's gonna be like halfway between there and where you guys are now.
So here. Okay.
Yeah.
So past that sword, or this city.
Yeah, that's pretty much like exactly midway there.
Okay.
So then south of that is where all the cares are, the abandoned cares where he recommended treasure diving if you guys want to, but
How long until nightfall?
few hours.
Okay.
I'm gonna show the stream really quickly. Hello, here, I'll use this one. Sorry, I'm blocking your guys' faces. Oh god, this is harder than I thought. This is where the party
The map
is
looks prettier to me
now.
anyways.
They're gonna travel to here, which
The
is
map looks
not
prettier than me
halfway
anyways.
between here and this house contention. So, yeah. Oh god, I just do that. Alright. I had to piece out of that camera. Alright. So, yeah, I guess, do you guys want to then set out?
Yes, I'm ready to sleep.
Alright, so,
How big is this boat that we're on?
pretty big.
Oh,
Big enough to like,
very big.
yeah, it's like, I don't know, I guess it's one of their larger, well, I wouldn't say it's huge because it's more like a it's like surveying the land, right? So they got to be able to like make a quick escape, but it definitely is like roomy enough for you and your mounts to like be able to have like their own spaces. So it's like moderately large, I guess.
How many crew are aboard?
They're like 5 to 10 probably. Like
Okay.
there's probably like a captain and like the assistant and like 3 deckhands and 4 soldiers or something like that. Not too many people. Don't want to be too like threatening, I guess. Also, it's not that much space, but yeah, it's decently big. So
It's probably like a schooner.
Oh, it's a riverboat.
I don't know
Yeah.
much about boats, so
It's like a big riverboat.
Let's get into boat classification. It's
Oh,
excellent
This
content.
this matters.
Our
Does
viewers love this content.
oh wow. What about those big steamboats with like the wheels that go around?
Like
Let's
the
play
Steamboat
1920s music.
Yeah.
While we're on it.
I like it.
There's a mouse at the wheel for some
It's
reason.
trying to do the power boats.
Power
Schooners
boats?
were popular.
boats.
Like,
Stop.
oh.
They do have like the steamboats and stuff.
Oh
like
really?
that.
Oh, that's cool.
It's,
I guess-
it's a closely guarded
It's
secret.
great video.
Those are probably more like.
It's a car.
Oh, I was like, what is that noise?
It's the schooner.
Oh.
It's the frogs.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, that's the schooner. Scoonie.
Oh,
no.
you see? You got me. No, I guess those are probably more for like people transit, I guess, right? Like,
Schooners were popular in trades requiring speed and windward ability, such as slaving, privateering,
oh, I love
blockade
slaving.
running, and offshore fishing.
Wait, I didn't say that.
Those are ocean vessels. They're on a river.
Yeah.
It's the river equivalent that is taking you all.
Okay.
I don't know. Whenever I think of boats, all I can think of is like pirate ships. So don't ask me because I don't know anything about boats really. I just always imagine you guys on pirate ships. Even that airship was also a pirate ship. It was just in the air. I don't know anything different. I'm
Me
sorry.
too. It's okay, Rose.
Alright, glad I have no imagination when it comes to boats, but
Does our captain have an eye patch then? And a peg leg?
yeah, he has an eye patch, a peg leg, and then he also doesn't have a shirt on.
That's just how Scrang do, huh?
Yeah, they just, and he has like that like teal, blue, green colored, khaki pant short on.
Ooh.
Is his peg like Sperry brand?
Oh.
Sure. What?
It was just me being
I
excited.
was wearing Sperry's today, but I left them in my room. I don't actually have them on here under the table.
Fake pirate.
Wow. Timon's a fake pirate.
But yeah. So you guys setting out, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. No problem. So it's night's beginning to fall. You all get on the boat, nice and peaceful, listening to the river and whatnot. I have river music.
Does it sound like frogs?
It's actually just rain, but it sounds kind of like water. I mean, it is
I'm
water.
imagining it's like the over the garden wall when they're on the river with all the frogs.
I still haven't seen that, but I want to. I know you've like watched it a few times at a house, but
I play it every Halloween.
maybe this Halloween. But yeah, here's the peaceful river sounds. There are the frogs outside. But yeah, there's a wolf howl every now and then, or whatever. I'm just clicking all of the noises that there are. Okay. But yeah, so it's like, I don't know, if you fall into nice, calming sleep with the sound of the river and whatnot, or you all can do whatever you want. I don't know. You're on this boat now. What do you want to do? It's nighttime.
Pop some drugs and take a nap.
Ah, all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
We
like
got fantasy ambient here.
No, it's real ambient.
fantasy Dramamine.
Oh, wow.
Triskin is gonna go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm sleeping. Do we have a watch?
There's guards on the boat.
Yeah,
That's true. Yeah, I'm going to sleep.
I mean, you all are kind of expected to, like, from what you've heard, to, like, be on the defensive if something happens, but you don't, like, specifically have to, like, you know, keep watch or shifts or anything. So you all can go to sleep. Okay. So,
We do that.
you know, the next morning comes, you know, you get updated, you're
Okay,
about...
Can I make a recovery test to heal my wound?
Sure.
Perfect.
None of you have, like, wounds or anything?
I don't think so.
No.
Right. Dope. So, you know, they update you. You're like, you know, you see some random little settlements along the river passing. You're like about halfway to Lake Pyros. You know, still like maybe like a quarter into your trip so far. You know, the sun's rising. I guess you all can get rations or whatever. It's still like pretty chill. There's no problems yet. So I don't know if you guys, is there anything specific you all want to do on this trip? You know, any sort of research, training, conversing.
Triskin is going to start taking all of his clothes off.
Oh,
Go up
that's good.
to one of the sailors, and
Go on.
Start
trying to get swimming lessons.
I like how you take your clothes off first and then ask them for things.
Do you just want to like swim beside the ship?
Well, he does not know how to swim.
Also, like, you know I know how to swim.
This like isn't really the place to get swim lessons. But
Perhaps we could tie a rope to him and just drag him behind the boat for a bit.
it's possible.
Yeah.
If you want.
He gestures frantically at that.
What, he doesn't like
And when
bondage?
Jackanal says,
I know how to swim.
yeah.
Yeah.
When Jackanal says that, he like makes a like look and then
Rock's gonna go,
Oh, no.
did you not think a screen could swim? This man, he's wild. You ate the gum fruit. I need to stop making any references.
Triskin fully nude, writing out his message as we all just kind of stand around.
Do y'all do it different?
Oh my god. You can't just ask someone if they do it different. Sorry,
What?
that's me, girl.
I'm collecting all the clothes he took off.
Haven't you noticed the tail he has? They
Wait,
use
aren't
their
the
tail
sailors
for-
also, sorry, the sailors are also scraying,
Yeah.
right?
My dude, you just came from like a screen house.
This is,
I throw the clothes back at Triskin and say, put those clothes back on.
he's not fully naked.
No one wants to see that.
Come on, man.
Are you not in awe of his tattoos? He lathers up with sunscreen to protect his tattoos.
Actually, you notice Rock leaning over the side of the ship, you know, almost as if she's disgusted, or either terribly seasick. So, one of the two. Probably both, honestly. So Rock is not participating in this conversation.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
ship
so all
happened.
the sailors are also scraying, buddy.
Didn't notice the tails.
he grabs Jackanal's hand and tries to get Jackanal to jump in with him.
Okay, whoa. Okay, if we jump in here, you're gonna get left behind. You don't want that.
Let's wait until the boat stops, and then we'll have plenty of time for you to practice swimming.
Yeah, once we dock, we can do that.
I also know how to swim like someone who doesn't have a tail.
Tries to look
Yeah,
sad.
everyone knows those great dwarf swimmers of the world.
I'm
You
not
wanted
saying
a
I'm a better
strapping young
swimmer,
sailor to
but I'm
teach him
saying
how
I
to
can
swim.
teach him how
You
to swim
wanted what?
properly
A
for the fact that he
strapping
has
young
no tail.
sailor?
Triskin wanted a strapping young sailor to teach him how to swim.
Okay.
They're all... I'm done with you. Alright. Yes, one particularly large scraying man with super buff abs and arms is going to be like, I can show you grab your hand and lead you to the front of the boat and pull a Titanic moment and just shoves you off the front of the boat.
Yeah.
And you're literally keelhauled. That's what keelhaul
Yep.
means.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Cool.
Well, no, they tie you to the boat, right? So you don't get swept away. You go alongside of the boat, right? Yeah. And you get torn to pieces by the barnacles and everything.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, in the salt water too.
That would ruin his tattoo, so he's gonna not allow that to happen.
Yeah.
Salt sanitizer.
All right.
It's fine.
You're supposed to go 2 weeks before you get your tattoos wet, so I don't know when the last time you did a tattoo was, but obviously you're not a very skilled tattoo artist.
Yeah, well, it was a different time. So, after being rejected for learning how to swim, he's just gonna leave the clothes off and start tattooing something on his chest.
Anyways, anyone else have anything to do?
Missive is going to ask some of the sailors on board, somewhat covertly, quietly, about if they had any issue with slavers on this river recently. In the past few years.
Yeah, so they'll like mention that. I mean, ever since House Contention kind of took up more territory in this area, they really haven't gone out onto the river that much. Therefore, they like really haven't seen much. But that's what this like mission is for, to try and see if they can like get any sight of something that could be kind of damning for them, I guess. Something to get Thrall even more on their side, to maybe help push back Contention. But yeah, I mean, for years in the past, I guess they kind of tell you Contention's always just kind of been maybe a little more shady about their trade businesses on the river. So they kind of tell you, they haven't seen anything explicitly, but maybe it wouldn't be that surprising, especially since they're partnered pretty closely with Thrall, or Thera. So, yeah, nothing explicitly, but yeah.
Okay, so that's the takeaway, is that's kind of what this recon mission is for, is to just figure out
what they're doing on
they're doing on this, since they're trying to expand upriver. Is that correct?
Yeah. Just getting, you notice they kind of seem like they're trying to get closer to, like, Thrall. Like, they're slowly taking more territory, expanding. So, and they've always been a little shadier with their deals. So, it wouldn't be surprising, is, I guess, what you take from it. But yeah, and I guess you notice, like, the sailors all seem like a little butthurt talking about House Contention. Like, they're kind of like, a little annoyed that they've been taking more of their territory up or whatever. Or at least, like, giving them less access to the rivers because, the rivers aren't specifically any houses. I mean, it's nature's rivers, but, they're a little territorial, I guess. So they're a little salty. But yeah, so I guess you notice that they have that kind of saltiness towards Contention. So.
Has Contention been violent with anybody on the rivers? Or like anything aggressive or something?
Yeah, they'll tell you that they actually have been fairly aggressive. I mean, when they were first taking like the territory up the river more, they have never killed anyone, but they have like roughed people up and like sent them back to like kind of as like a warning sign.
It's kind of like a Cold War thing.
Type, yeah. Kind of just like, kind of exerting their power over Vistriman, and Vistriman's kind of been backing off. They tried for a while to keep control over the river, but they didn't want to fight back really as much as Contention wanted to fight for it. So yeah, they have been like fairly aggressive, pushing their way up the river. I guess not like full on aggressive, like trying to start a war between the two houses, but just kind of threatening.
Yeah, sort of trying to mark their territory. Like this is our this is our town.
Exactly.
Screw up. Yeah.
Trying to like, send messages that like, this is our area.
Sounds
now.
very gang-like.
Yeah. I kind of imagine them as a gang, so I think that's fair. So yeah, they'll tell you that. I mean, they're not really like, you can tell they're not trying to hide anything
Right.
from you.
This is the sort of the beginning of the investigation.
Yeah.
Not really like we're following up on a lot of information.
Mhm.
That's literally what recon is for. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine.
So
Just
yeah.
keep our eyes out for anything.
Yeah, up until this point, they've been pushed back. So, like, this is kind of their first time trying to get back out all the weapons. So yeah, they don't know too much besides, like, what's happened. In
No, I
the
guess
past,
this makes sense why they wouldn't want to go down there after Rock had asked them to.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I guess, they were fine. They were fine with keeping their territory, but they were worried with them getting so close to, like, the floating city that they might eventually take over that area. So, yeah. I guess they're not much of... They don't really want to fight, but they do want to, like, protect. So, that's what this is for. And also, because if they're doing shady things, then no one likes shady business, so,
Nobody.
except for the shady people. But,
Not shady. I don't conduct shady business.
Ah.
I'm just shady in general.
I don't know, I'm pretty sure
A likely
siding with horrors has been a shady business.
Oh, that's not. I didn't side with them. That was only that one time, and we have not done that since.
We haven't found a horror since.
It's true. Stay tuned.
But yeah, so, I mean, I guess the day continues to pass unless any specific thing.
Yeah.
After
guys
about
do.
2 hours, Triskin puts his clothes back on.
Glad that you did that. Alright.
I'm gonna
Proud of you.
I'm gonna spend most of the day that we have free training my Trojan Kayla.
Okay.
I'm gonna be trying to train her to follow a command to hide, and
Okay.
so basically at various points throughout the day, a couple of you guys will like look back behind you and notice my Trojan essentially stalking you.
That's
She's
spooky.
big.
She is
Right?
big.
Is it like
But
like
she's
there's
very-
like a pole on the ship and she's like pretending to hide behind it even though she's clearly visible?
Oh my god, I love it.
Or more like you turn around and she's right behind you and snuck up on you and
Like you
Wants
didn't
to cuddle.
notice.
Yes,
She's a
and
big
then licks
cuddly
you
cat.
aggressively.
Aw.
cuddle is definitely the.
I love cats. I want to have
That's
a big
cute.
cat as a pet.
I'll go ahead and make a animal training roll.
Yeah.
I'll say during this time I weave that thread that I said earlier to physical defense.
Okay.
So I got that.
Oof.
Oh, that was that to the group pattern?
Yes,
That you were
okay.
okay.
Yeah. I already like paid for it and everything.
Do you have to make a test
that explains.
to like a thread weaving test?
Yes,
Do I? Okay.
Did you? Okay.
No, I have
don't know
not
if
done that yet.
Okay.
that'll be your nethermancy skill.
All right. So I'll be 4.
How'd you do? Is it
was-
exploding?
Yeah, it was 8 to 14, which is higher than the physical defense or
Okay.
social defense. So. Add the new-
7.
yeah.
Cool. 7.
D10 plus D8.
What?
It also hit one of the things. I don't know if I should reroll.
What do you have to pass to thread to a group pattern?
I think it's 7 plus the rank of the thread.
7, yeah, so you need an 8 or higher.
Oh, okay.
But you
All
can
right.
spend karma on the roll.
Yeah.
Oh,
If
okay.
you just now that you know, you can roll again. If you
Okay,
want.
sure. I will.
I'm not gonna be picky about it, especially if it like hits something.
Well, that 10 explodes,
Oh, nice.
which gives it to you automatically.
Okay, yeah. I guess rather than rerolling, we'll just say I got it.
Okay. Yeah.
Sucks that thread weaving doesn't get extra successes.
Oh.
Well, I mean, on this it doesn't. There's other things where multiple successes on thread weaving are useful.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Usually for casting on realigning your spell matrices.
But yeah, so I guess are you putting that, you said, into physical defense?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's a rank 1 thread.
Yeah. So that gives rank 1 or +1 to physical defense, but it only applies when you're doing something like for the group, right? For like the group's benefit. So yeah. Right. So I guess don't add that on permanently. Just put like +1. But yeah. So does anyone else want to try and do anything? If not,
How much time do we have, like, before the next thing happens or something?
Nightfall, unless we're interrupted.
it's
I
like
believe.
midday right now.
It's like midday. Okay, Triskin is actually going to try to meditate with his sword and try to talk to it and learn its name.
Okay. Well, remember I told you that I would let you guys come up with a name for the sword.
Oh, okay.
Because, I feel like it would be slightly more special that way.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with you guys. If you can, like, come up with a name that is fitting for the sword, then I'll, like, let it be named that.
I've got a good name for the sword.
It has to have "do" in it, though. And it has to be a pun. Those are my 2 requirements.
Instead of the song being called Do Unto Others, you could name the sword Do Unto Others.
Oh.
Or just both. Maybe they're both called that.
Morning.
Maybe the song is named after the sword.
I like the idea of a sword being called Do Unto Others, because it's like, it sounds like you're just gonna fuck them up real
Honestly.
I like "do drop" because you're gonna drop them with your sword.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's great.
I'm bad at puns. I'm sorry.
No,
But
I
yeah.
like it.
What's up?
I like
Oh,
that.
you do? Oh, yeet.
What about DuPont? DuPont, like DuPont.
If it were a rapier, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I guess if you come up with a name for it, then you can weave a thread to it.
I have one. Stabby, stabby, do.
Oh,
Stabby
God.
McStabberson.
Stabba do.
Where
I
are
really
you?
like-
We've got some stabbing to do
I can't
now.
decide. I don't.
Stabby,
I
stabby.
really
It does
like
look
Do Unto
like
Others
this.
because it sounds
I
epic.
just
Do not.
It's like Flippy.
Just do not.
Actually,
I noticed you're
nah.
trying to
The
use
sword's
that
name is
magic.
Do Unto
It took like
Others.
some assistance.
I liked my pun, but it's fine. Y'all hate me. I see how it is.
I noticed you're fighting for your life against a horde. Would you like some help?
Do unto others. That's like an interesting
was-
name for a sword.
Because
but
I
like it.
decided that the sword looks like Clippy.
Oh,
Can you
is it
see?
focusing?
What?
No, yeah, it's
Oh, I think it
focused.
is.
It's good.
Wait, let me see, please.
Wait.
Oh my
It's horrible. This is when it first, like, we found out there was something in it, and I think it was still the Mad Pasture Meadow. I was just like, this is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's called Do Unto Others because she's like
Mhm.
all about self-sacrifice and kindness also, so it works.
You don't even know her. No, I'm joking. You do, obviously.
Tristan, when
You do you. Okay, I'm sorry.
When you go to put your clothes back on, you notice that one of your boots has been dragged away into
Do
a dark
What?
part, and you see Kayla like kind of
I like
chewing
that.
on it.
Oh my
I hate
gosh.
all of these.
Precious.
I'm gonna go try to retrieve it.
Oh wait, she's chewing on your shoe.
Yeah.
That's cute. I like it. But yeah, I
I
guess
like to
now.
imagine she's been stalking me around, kind of like tugging at pouches on my waist, like from behind. I'm like, ah, stop it.
Now that it's named, if you want to attempt to thread weave to it,
Nah,
and also,
I don't have legend left, so.
okay, well everyone can thread weave to it if you want, but you don't have to, obviously. So if that being said, as you know, about midday comes up, and maybe you're all kind of gathering for a lunch meal. Rock is gonna kind of be like, so I mean, I guess you guys know what I've been doing the past few weeks. What were you guys doing in Thrall for, a good 2 weeks or whatever?
We had a group training session, which was cool, except we got locked in a room where we had to say our names.
What's wrong with saying your name?
Well,
He forgets it quite often.
That's really sad.
it's
At
fine.
least you remember mine.
It's fine until one of your group members takes a vow of silence. Then it gets a little tricky.
It's pretty inconvenient.
Yeah. Especially when the room
yeah.
starts filling up with water and you're like, we might die.
Oh yeah, worst escape room ever, by the way.
Oh,
Got a little experience with that.
I feel like maybe if you guys just weren't like minor idiots, it would have been fine.
Wow.
But
Rock is saying this?
yeah,
Damn.
we had time. You know,
I was not worried about our safety in that room.
I wasn't worried about my safety. It was gonna be unpleasant for 4 out of 5 of us.
oh goodness. Well, I'm glad you guys pulled through. She is pained when she says that. Listen, you guys are idiots, but you're pretty cool, I guess.
Aw.
Thanks.
Do
Do you want to see my cool mushrooms?
Sure.
Yeah, all of these like magic objects now. Anyway, here's mine.
She's gonna.
I feed them daily, through the top.
Can she like hold them?
Yeah,
She's
sure.
gonna
They're in a
hold
little
and
terrarium.
appreciate life. And I feel like maybe as she holds them, they kind of like glow a little more, you know.
Yeah.
Well, she gives them a little blessing of Jaspreed, like whatever. She gives them back to you.
I feed them decaying meat.
Oh,
They love it.
I'm glad, you know. I'm glad that works for
No,
you.
that's what mushrooms do, is they break that stuff down.
Yeah, you know what? It's the circle of life, my
I-
guys. What about you guys? Do you guys have something to show me?
I've been spending most of my time helping nurse Kayla back to health.
I'm glad to see her looking so well. She kind of like looks at her like armor. You know, she has like that pelt armor. And she's gonna like try and like pet, I guess, Kayla. I don't know if she'll let her. I guess probably. She's got a calming presence. So she kind of like pets her and just smiles and is like, I see some resemblance, and she, you know, just generally happy. Rock is in a good mood for some reason. You know, who knows?
I figured I would do honor to you and your loss by helping to maintain the name of your old Trojan.
Yes, I'm glad you named it that, or named her that. You know, I hope that she can be as good of a companion to you as my Kayla was to me. So, I know I'm glad to see her looking so strong, especially coming out of that, you know, crazy city. You know, seeing those animals there, they were so, you know, so weak looking, but it looks like she's getting strong now. So I'm very glad. Yes, I'm glad. It says I've been meditating with Dew. Have you?
I forgot 1 second about the whole campaign, and I thought Mountain Dew.
Oh
I was just like, that seems like something Bane would do.
my god. Anyway. Oh god. When is our next Mountain Dew mountain coming?
Fully Fall Rush.
Yeah.
Palums.
If you're watching. No. She's gonna ask you if you have like been able to speak with her.
Do you have a message you wish to tell him to do for you?
Would I be able to talk to her? Or is it only... Oh. So, Rock is gonna take the sword, and I guess she's gonna be like, we'll talk later, and she's gonna take it and, like, go meditate or something. Or, like, she's gonna walk off from you guys, and you're gonna see her kind of sitting in the corner of the ship, kind of, like, shaking the sword. Like, she doesn't really know how to get in touch with her super spiritual side. So she's kind of, like, punching the whole, like, wall of the ship, and she's like, why isn't it working? Trying to talk
Does
to
the
it.
boat rock each time she punches it?
What's up?
Does the boat rock a little bit each time she
Just
punches
a little
it?
bit, you know. You just, like, slowly see, like, this one wall on the ship kind of just denting a little. It's just, like, wooden. She's probably fine. But after a while, I guess she kind of calms down and is just holding the sword. Yeah. I don't know if you guys want to do anything. I guess she'll probably, a few hours later, she'll bring you the sword back and just kind of be happy looking.
Oh, let's maybe talking. She's succeeded eventually.
I guess you can assume she won't really say anything, but
No.
but she'll like give you the sword back and I guess just continue doing boat travel things. So I guess at this point it's probably like 4. It's probably getting to be like almost dusk time. So I mean, you're only like maybe 5-6 hours out from your hopeful landing place. So I don't know. I guess you guys just chilling along. No one wants to talk to each other or interact. Whatever.
Kind of strumming on my lute, just kind of.
I
Trying to
learned
fit a
a
lot
new
of
spell.
You learned a new spell.
Yes, Missa starts doing the appropriate incantations and gestures while he starts flying like straight upward.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that passes the thread weaving test.
Oh, really?
And then because it requires 1 thread to cast this spell. But anyway.
We're just gonna go raw magic on it again.
No raw magic today.
Dang.
And then a bolt of lightning bursts from Missa's hand into the sky, and he pretends like he's been struck by lightning and like floats down back to the ship's deck.
I thought you were gonna say a bolt of lightning came from the sky to the ship's deck. I was gonna be a little upset.
And I'm pretty sure it leaps from his hands.
Okay.
So yeah,
And like into the sky.
into the sky.
Okay.
Like no target. Just,
As this happens, the sailors on the ship are gonna yell at you and be like, "Don't you know what sort of mission this is supposed to be? We're supposed to be undercover infiltrating enemy territory. What are you doing?" And they're all gonna start kind of like panicking off the ship. Like trying to like look around for.
Do not worry, calm down. It was just a bolt of lightning.
But it's not even like storming out or anything.
On a sunny day with no clouds.
Yeah.
It hasn't rained in weeks. Oh boy.
yeah, Missa still pretending like he got struck by lightning.
Missive.
Is he like
Yeah,
on the ground?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh god. Okay.
Missive, the only source of the lightning was you.
How good's your acting test?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, do that. Iconic.
It's ranked 3, so that probably means it's like D10. All right.
If only someone could like control the weather. Just make it start
13.
storming.
Was that 13 on acting?
Okay. It looks like you may have gotten some more meat for your mushrooms.
It's a little crispy, this one.
I'm sure the
Nice
even
and
mushrooms
roasted.
deserve a warm meal from time to time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Jessica is very amused by this.
Yeah.
Laughing.
Rock is also kind of slightly amused, though she doesn't want to show it. She's just like rolling her eyes and smiling. And the soldiers are still slightly panicking on the ship. But I guess, maybe like another hour or so passes and nothing happens. So they start to calm a little, relax some. And at this point, it's like pretty much the sunset, I guess, now.
Are there any animals or anything along the shoreline that we see as we sail past?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure you see just normal creatures. So basically, right now you've been sailing through like jungle area, pretty much. Jungle.
Yeah, this is the Cerberus jungle, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So I definitely imagine you all see, what are typical jungle animals, because they're not like tigers or anything. I guess you probably don't see like Trojan and stuff. Those are more rare, but you see like typical jungle cats, jungle chickens.
Chickens are a jungle bird.
Is that true?
Yes.
That's wild. I didn't know
Whoa.
that. There you see like packs of, what are those like smaller cat animals that like
Civets?
what are they called?
Civets?
How do you spell it?
Cevit, I think.
They're like smaller cat animals that travel in like big packs, I think. You see some like packs of wild cats maybe on the shoreline. An animal every now and then kind of grazing by the river.
Do we see any chocobos?
Chocobos?
Chocobos.
No. Unfortunately.
That's unfortunate.
You see maybe a jub or two sleeping on the coastline.
Is Frill just like longingly looking at their face?
Yes. Yes.
He's more JoJo now than man.
He pulls out the
Oh my
necklace
God.
and pre-attaches it.
pre-attached.
Is anyone having conversations with each other on this boat, or are we all just kind of?
I mean, I was kind of just doing my own thing.
Well, I'm not having a conversation.
Yeah, I know you are. But how much longer you got on that vow?
It's
About
like
a
a
day and a
day,
half.
right? A day and a
Really?
half.
I thought
Like
more
30
than
hours or
that.
so. 38 hours.
Yeah.
One day he will talk again. Who knows?
Probably like. I
Mister,
don't
are you
know,
still
like-
dead over there?
No, he's fine now.
He's chilling.
He got better.
Yeah.
How much damage did you take from the lightning bolt striking you?
Nothing.
Oh,
Because it
Crojan.
was fake.
Is that
Right.
what
It
did
did,
you say?
You were right. It did leave
Is that
presence.
Civet.
Like he was the
No,
yes, it did
Crojan-
actually strike.
Deadly predators hunt in packs of 5 to 10 males and females in the Ceros and Liash jungles. Wow, I'm surprised I remembered that they were specifically in the Ceros jungle. I read too many things. Yeah, like you see these like small black tiger things. They kind of look like panther cubs. They're smaller, but they have very large fangs and look very aggressive. So
Very aggressive.
Still love no.
they're
I
cute.
make an animal
Um,
handling test.
I mean, they are suitable for companions. So
I do have one more animal companion slot right now.
yeah, a tiny little baby panther
The
that's
house
very
was
incredibly
like
aggressive.
They're
I like
4
that.
cats, 2 foster kittens that are tiny little black.
Are they
kittens.
bigger than Trojan or smaller? Than
Smaller, I think.
Okay.
Went upstairs and they had this beautiful window with a bunch of plants and a snooze and a cat light in the middle. It's just like,
Yeah, fully grown, about 2 feet long and 1 foot
Oh,
tall.
okay.
So they're small, small but mighty.
These are like bobcats or something.
Yeah,
They're
kind of
so
like
cute.
the Velociraptor effect of cats.
DM mentions vicious pack of cats. Players,
Aw.
they're so cute. Aww.
oh, they are though.
They are 5th circle, so a pack of 5 to 10 of them
They'll
would
fuck you up.
absolutely destroy all of you. So
Like individually, they're fifth circle.
yeah,
Holy crap!
Damn, yeah.
so
One of them jumps onto the ball.
Also, Jackal is just kind of watching wildlife too, kind of serenely. It's nice.
Hey, Jackal, have you ever been to this part of the world before?
Actually, no, not really into Thera territory at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Well, oh no, wait. I'm not in the Thera territory. Yes, I have been in this area before.
Okay. What was your reason to be here?
I was looking for some people.
As one does.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, Jackanal. Why did you never tell us that you were from Cliff City when we were there? You just seemed to go into hiding.
Not a great relationship with home, honestly. It's a long time ago. I was like a
Is this
kid,
awkward coming
basically.
back?
Yeah, you could say that. You know how bars, if you act up, they'll put your name on a list and like make sure you're not allowed back in.
Are you not allowed back in your hometown?
Yeah, it's like that for a whole city and possibly surrounding townships. I never really checked to see how far that went. But I don't really go back there for that reason.
Are you a criminal?
I don't think it's really important. I think the overall
Take that
point
as a yes.
nobody who wasn't already dead got hurt. Let's put it that way.
So what exactly did you do?
You know, we don't really have to go over that again.
No, I'm curious. We have all day. It's not like there's anything else that's gonna happen.
Hey, Tarskin, swimming lessons? You up for those, bud?
Do you just go and jump in the water?
Tristan turns his thing around and shows a drawing of
that
one
of
of
the
the
little
cats on the
creatures?
shores.
Oh my god.
But it's actually skillfully done because he's a tattoo artist.
Oh.
and
No,
to a
it
dark
looks
school.
just like that.
No, it doesn't. I hate you.
I love it.
Is
Alright.
Jackal just gonna
That's
yeet
nice.
himself into the water?
No, I asked him if he wants swim lessons. I guess you turn around and you have that.
That's my response.
It's very nice. I do like it. I do appreciate some good art here. Love art, fine art. Let's talk about art.
Taman's gonna click, and when you show up the cat thing, and what's your physical defense?
12.
The cat pounces on you, and tackles you.
Wait, what?
He's cute.
He's attacking you. He's not going to do damage, but he's just tackling you and
With
putting you to
the
the
Claws
ground.
in, maybe.
Roll
Oh,
with it.
Kayla?
Roll awareness checks.
Yeah, Kayla does.
Oh, okay.
So that's 18 plus, because both those exploded. 15
Awareness
plus
is
5,
just
22.
perception, so
Mhm.
steps.
23.
23 damage?
No, 23 against your physical defense.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To grapple you to the ground, to pin you to the ground, basically.
Oh.
1 second. I guess I have to make a wound balance test now.
Karma.
No, it's,
I got so much karma. Why not?
yeah, I guess it would be an attack
Don't worry
specifically
about
to
it.
knock down or whatever.
11.
Okay.
Wait, what did you do?
Wait, so is he grappled to the ground right now?
I think he's trying to make a wound balance check to not be.
Lord.
He's grappled to the ground right now.
Wait, 1
chaotic.
second. This seems
So
wrong.
as they're kind of play fighting on the front of the ship and you're watching them,
Okay, yeah.
you like look up
Yeah,
at
I
the
got
front
Okay.
and you see two more
So,
ships coming
Like
from the
a
opposite
200-pound cat just
direction.
slams
with the
down,
sunset
pins
kind
you
of
to the
falling
ground.
behind them, coming towards your ship.
Well, Missif will fly.
You were
up
looking
to
for a cat, yes?
the crow's nest, presuming there is one. The top of
Yeah.
the top, the
Yeah.
top of the tallest mast.
Mhm.
And,
I'll pull Kayla off
and
of
look
you.
out at those ships to see what
Good-
sort
good
of
girl.
information you can get.
I'll pet her.
Maybe there's a guy already at the top of the mast, and he's gonna go have to talk to him if there's a guy there.
Yeah, there probably is, and he's probably already noticed this and is probably trying to relay information down to the soldiers. Like,
Yeah, and Missif will be like, I can relay information.
yeah, and he's gonna
Unless-
ask you to.
Yeah, I mean, he could yell down, but whatever.
And he's gonna say that they look like Misterman's chips, so to relay that, or not Misterman,
This is
Contention.
Okay.
Relay that to the like pilot and other and like guards
All right,
or
yeah.
soldiers.
Sorry, what?
Missif will go do that. He'll fly over to the pilot and captain, presumably, and
Yeah.
then to the party, and then relay that information a third time.
As you all were play fighting with a
Mhm.
cat and whatnot, they rolled awareness checks, and Missif noticed two ships coming like
Okay.
from the opposite direction, like with kind of like the sunset falling behind it, coming towards you all. So I guess now that he has alerted the party, you all notice these ships as well, and the kind of soldiers are tensing up because they appear to be contention ships from, I guess. I imagine all of the houses kind of have their own type of
Probably
Like
flags.
banner and livery.
yeah,
Yeah,
just like
we
general architecture.
I probably recognize it as Contention House.
Mhm.
Captain, perhaps we should hide below deck? I know.
Yeah, so I'll say maybe you're talking to a soldier. I feel like the
Okay.
captain's probably busy
Oh, okay.
trying to figure out what to do
Well,
at this point with a bunch of people around him. But
Random soldier, perhaps
yeah.
maybe it's better if we hide below deck.
Maybe I don't really know. You all clearly are mercenaries and thrall with those capes on, so
And they are not very familiar at all.
it would probably be for the best.
Hang on, can
Maybe
I,
try and let us battle this out.
Can I roll awareness on my cape?
Sure.
Okay.
Like you're trying to pay attention to what your cape's doing?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it.
That's not great. 4.
Yeah. You don't notice it doing anything specific, so
Okay. Don't pay attention to me.
no, I did. But
Not right now.
not this you didn't notice anything this
Okay.
time. But yeah, so your cape is glowing blue with the side of it.
Orcs are there.
Orcs. Rock looks at you and is annoyed.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
God.
right here.
But yeah, so yeah, I guess he'll be like, I guess yeah, it's probably for the best. We'll try and reason with them. Hopefully they'll listen. So you all, I guess, get below deck and get to safety.
If I hear a blood-curdling scream, I'll come out and save you.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
He's
Triskin's
worried.
gonna have his sword drawn below deck.
Alright.
So I guess if everyone is everyone heading below deck?
Yeah.
You too? Okay. So yeah, I guess from below deck, you
I'm
hear
actually gonna get on the back of Kayla.
okay.
Get ready for battle. Just
Yeah.
in case.
So you, I guess, hear, like, not, like, commotion, like, light commotion upstairs, like, people, maybe, like, footsteps running around and whatnot, and people talking, and the boat kind of slows from what you can tell, and you hear shouting, you know, I guess, almost like, you can't quite hear what they're talking about, but you, like, hear conversation, like, shouting conversation.
Okay. Like across the water.
Yeah, like across boats or whatever.
Can I make an awareness test to try to make it out?
Sure.
Me too.
Yeah, same.
Oh, and from what you could tell, Missive, from kind of getting the high vantage point, I said there were 2 boats. One looks similar to the boat that you guys are on, somewhat of a scouting boat, and the other one looks like it's carrying like cargo, like a cargo boat or something. Not like suited for people as much, I guess.
That's a 16 to awareness.
Okay. 14.
So aware.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna put on my distract kit.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just gonna pre-do that.
Sounds good.
Pre-do that.
21 on awareness.
Oh my god.
God damn.
So, I mean, pretty much all of you hear this, but I'll say, I mean, I guess Missive hears it the best, and he'll fill in the gaps.
Those goddamn large ears.
Yeah, right? He'll
That's
fill
racist.
you in on the gaps. Rip. But yeah, you kind of hear yelling back and forth, like, don't you know that this is our territory now? What are you fools doing out here again on the river? And didn't we like prove enough to you last time that we have the power to own this land? And then they're like, listen, we just want to see if maybe we can work something out. You hear that coming from, like, I guess your boat. You know, want to work something out. We really, like, you know, this used to be our land. I think we have some right to it. Can't we make out some kind of deal? And you hear them yelling back, like, no, we don't want to make any deals with you all. This is our part of the river. We already showed you that. You know, that kind of
We have
thing.
to teach you this lesson, old man.
What's up?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson,
Oh.
old man?
Oh, from SpongeBob?
It's a nice boat you got there. It's a shame if something were to happen to it.
This is our town.
Yeah.
But yeah, you just hear that kind of general back and forth type deal. And you hear, I guess, the other boat, like, kind of questioning, like, what are you all doing out here again? I guess, like, what's your aim? And they're honest. You hear them saying, like, oh, we're out here to just kind of see, like, just to recon, just to see what's going on the river, and see if we can, like, work something out. And they were like, and I guess they tell you, or they say across to your ship, it'd be best if you turn back now and don't come back again. Yeah, I guess it's kind of like sustained conflict at this point, because the people on your ship don't really want to turn back because they want to be able to drop you all off at least halfway there. But I guess if they don't turn back, it seems like there's gonna be, like, conflict.
How many friendly soldiers are there, and how many enemy soldiers are there? Ish.
You all didn't really get the chance to tell. I guess you hear, like, 3 dominant voices coming from the other boat, I guess, for the people who, like, rolled really high awareness. But, I mean, there's likely a few people that aren't talking as well.
Right.
There aren't really any portholes we can use to see out of the
I
lake.
assume you all are trying to stay covered and not seen. So, I don't know. If you want to try and look out of... I'm sure there's some window or something you can try and look out of.
Yeah, Missive would look out the window.
But...
Covertly.
Listen.
Okay.
See if you can count how many there are out there.
Right.
Do you have any sort of stealthy, not stealthy stride, but kind of just
Some sort of stealth-related
in general?
skill?
Do you want to attempt to be
I have
stealthy?
lock picking and picking pockets.
Stealthy stride is the sneak skill.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I
If
thought.
we go up, it'll just make the situation worse. They'll think we're
I have
attacked.
quiet finger gloves, which are just for the
Oh.
fingers. Gloveless fingers.
Yeah. I don't know if there's much you can do with those right now.
So the dominant voice that wasn't
Stick
one
your
of
hand up above
yeah,
the
the dominant voice that wasn't one of ours.
We don't know how many of them there are. We could get slaughtered. That was 2 boats.
I'm
we
gonna
got
mimic
1.
voice that.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
My secrets!
I'm so sorry. Secrets.
It's fine. Alright.
You have a computer back there. That's
Oh
illegal.
my god, that's DM cheating.
No! It's all written down. I wrote all of my 20 pages of notes down. What were you saying?
So there's a dominant voice that's clearly not from the ship, from one of the other 2 ships, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of pick up on there's at least 3 more dominant voices coming from other ships.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Likely.
mimic one of them.
Okay.
I'm gonna try to.
Okay.
One of them at random.
Yeah.
On that right.
Because I got to do this now while I can
Does it
hear
sound
it.
like they're walking around on the deck of the boat that we're on?
Not
boarded?
yet.
Okay.
That's an 8 versus social.
Do you still want to try and you can still try and look out the window. I'm just gonna make a perception test.
Sure.
Right.
8 versus social defense. That might actually fail.
Before you look out the window, perhaps maybe Jack and I can cast that shadowy thing on you.
What was it? 8 minus what?
8 versus social defense, which might actually fail.
Wait, is Missy
Yeah,
trying to go
Charles.
out the window?
I'm trying not to go out the
Grow.
window yet.
Okay.
But look out the window to
Okay.
see the ship, how many people there are.
Okay. I don't know if you're at the kind
how
of
far
angle where
away
they
the
would
ship
risk
is.
seeing you in there, or if they would. I mean, I can cast Shadow Meld on you, if you want.
Well,
Sit this down.
what do you make a percept? If you're trying to spot someone, I think it's perception. Do you do that against their
It should
dexterity?
be their perception against their dexterity. Right?
Well, against his stealthy stride.
Yeah.
Okay.
But stealthy stride, if he doesn't.
Shadow
have it,
Meld
is
gives
just
+4 to
dex.
Stealthy Stride tests.
Well, I don't have stealthy stride, so it's just my dex.
If you just want to roll dex, and I'll roll perception, and we
I
can
have
see what
stealthy stride.
happens.
Alright.
What's your dex step? I'll tell you if it's
Well, I
worth
don't have
trying.
Stealthy Stride, but I can still use it.
Yeah, it gives you a
Try.
stealthy
Oh,
stride
okay.
Alright.
If you want to risk it,
Yeah, why not?
Is
What are
this
they gonna
with
do?
Shadow Meld?
see you.
Yeah,
It
so
was just- he
they're just
doesn't
trying to
have
get us to go
stealthy
away,
stride.
right?
Yeah.
9.
Alright. Let's see. Where the heck is this die that I need?
The D20.
You managed to pull it off.
Nice.
Yeah.
They don't see me.
Did you roll a D10?
Yeah.
I rolled the same thing, but I rolled low.
Nice.
So, nice. So you managed to peek out the window. Maybe your smaller size, you can get away with it
Nice.
without anyone apparently noticing you up on the other
How
ship.
far away is the ship? Is it within 20 yards?
It's close.
How many do you see?
How many do I see?
You see 3 dudes kind of up front leaning over the ship, and I guess maybe 2 or 3 smaller looking dudes behind him from what you can tell. The cargo ship looks like it's staying further back.
They're protecting the cargo ship. They don't want us to know what's on it.
So,
There's about 6 dudes.
and you do have
we can take them easy.
I think we can take
you have also what I say
we have
6 soldiers on your boat.
6 or 7 soldiers.
We don't know what's in that cargo ship, though.
I think I know what's in that cargo ship.
These guys are alive with the Theran Empire. It could be slaves.
Yeah, could be more soldiers.
We are duty bound to free them.
Rock,
Yeah.
Rock is gonna say, because I guess she's down here too, being quiet this whole time. I really don't want to mess this up for them and start a lot of conflict between the 2 houses, but also there's slavery going on. I ain't having none of that. So
Why don't you sneak over there, miss, if you can fly, and see what's on the cargo ship?
if he doesn't have stealthy stride, it might be pretty difficult.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm rather flamboyant. I think I'll probably get noticed.
Would you like me to? Would you like me to
Just
sneak
can't
over?
turn it
Would you
off.
like me to sneak over there then?
Jack and all could swim.
I can swim. I have swimming.
I just
Is this a flowing river?
Yeah.
I've got stealthy stride and I can swim, so
Yeah.
let's maybe I'll go.
Go check it
Gonna
out.
try.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
I'll share some quick information on like typical slave ship layouts, where secret compartments typically are, so that Jack and all's got an idea of
all right.
where to
And
look.
Rock is gonna say before you go,
And I mean, I'm in like dark clothes. It's sunset at least by now, so.
Rock's gonna say, I don't want to mess up the relations between these two houses and cause like eternal conflict. But if you find anything relating to slavery, I will not be able to control myself. So,
At this point, I don't see many other ways out of this. Can I spend the karma on rolling for this?
For which
For-
one?
Stealthy stride?
Yeah, like stealthy stride to get across. No,
It's not a talent for you.
Nope. Yeah.
is it a song?
Oh,
I've
you
got
have that.
shadow meld. Which,
Yeah, but that doesn't.
well,
I don't know.
So is stealthy stride a skill? And
it's
then
a
shadow
skill,
meld-
and shadow meld just gives +4 to stealthy stride tests. It says.
So you can do a shadow meld test with karma,
Okay.
and then that'll add 4 to your stealthy stride, which would make it easier, I guess.
Alright, cool. So I'm gonna attempt to slither out one of the rear portholes straight into the water without a
Alright.
splash.
Sounds good.
So
Stealth.
please roll. No. That's a 9.
What does it have to be greater than?
And then,
Perception of.
well,
vanity.
it just so Shadow Meld has to succeed to be
Oh.
casted, and then
Yeah.
the stealthy. strike
Yeah,
just
but
has
what
to
did it have
Yeah.
to succeed?
Against
Probably
targets,
against
it says I make a spellcasting test against the target's mystic defense.
Yeah, which against yourself, which you can choose to fail.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
that's it? Oh,
Shadow
yeah.
Meld is successful.
Okay, so you shadow meld.
Okay,
So
yeah,
now
then
make a stealthy
that-
stride to get to the other boat.
Okay,
So-
should that be what I just rolled for then?
Did you roll the +4?
Oh no, I didn't add
Yeah.
+4 to
Roll-
it. Yeah, so that'll be 13.
Roll your dexterity +4.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I was confused about this.
Well,
I
I'm
haven't
gonna try to
actually
make a
tried
distraction
this
check, or I'm gonna try to help her give her the distraction.
Okay.
I'm gonna use Dominate Beast on one of the jubs on the lake, on the river's edge, to kind of just get him to jump into the water, make a big splash, and kind of distract people.
Okay. Do you have to be a certain distance from it, or do you think you'd be able to like?
I'm not certain what the distance on Dominate Beast is.
All right. What did you go ahead?
5.
5?
Wait, Julia.
What? I rolled a 1. And I got +4 to that. Right?
Okay.
That's a stealthy stride test.
Yeah.
So what did that has to be their perception?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just their perception step, or do they roll perception?
5 is the difficulty of their perception check.
Okay. I see. Let's
If that's what you got on your stealthy
Yeah,
check.
does his distract help me at all?
if he can pull it off, I'd say so.
What's the distance on Dominate at? Oh.
Why do I keep losing this guy? You managed to pull it off anyways.
Alright.
Because I'm rolling very low.
Oh, alright.
So
Says nothing about distance.
you can still do it if you want. I'm not gonna stop you.
Big
He
ol'
succeeded anyway, so it doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
I'll make the check anyways.
Well,
Nice.
for the effect of it, I think
Yeah.
it'd be cool.
This big fat jump just plops into the water.
Yeah.
I'll spend a karma on that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
double exploding 6s.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, that jump throws its body into the river. It's very excited.
25.
Nice.
It like just feels very like willed. It's like maybe there's fresh food in the river. Also, hopefully it doesn't attack that.
I control him for 3
Oh, okay,
minutes.
cool. Well then, yeah, make him attack the other people. No, maybe not. But yeah. So yeah,
I
you
might
managed-
if the fight breaks out in the next 2
cool.
minutes.
I mean, of course.
Got 3 minutes to start a fight, guys. Alright.
Wait, 3 minutes or 30?
3.
Oh, 3. Oh, okay.
I mean, we can just
It might be hours.
So I slither
roll
my way
initiative
up.
into next episode.
I slither my way up to their boat, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
The cargo ship.
Yeah, their cargo ship. And I guess I want to roll awareness for any of the things that Miss have told me about.
Okay.
So,
You have the awareness.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
yes.
Cool.
I can't spend karma on that, can I?
On which one?
If you have it as a talent, you can.
Yeah, anything
Yeah, I
with
actually
talent,
do.
you can spend
Okay.
karma on. Ouch.
Ouchie.
Boy.
You need different
5.
dice.
Yeah, this sucks.
You know, I mean, there are some pretty obvious looking like entrances onto this ship.
Okay.
Whether it be like maybe some kind of portholes you might be able to hit through, or maybe some sort of strength check. Or I don't know. Are you good at climbing? You can try and climb.
What would that be? Would that be dexterity?
Oh, I think you actually have to have climbing as a talent.
Oh,
don't
okay.
you?
No, I don't.
You can attempt it without.
Oh, it's a default
Okay.
skill, so you
Yeah.
can attempt it. What, at rank 1?
You can just do it as
It's
a.
just
Oh,
pure,
dexterity.
pure dex.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that'll be...
Oh, actually, I think it might be strength.
I figured it's okay if we go. Is it okay if we go like a few minutes over
Yeah.
to make up because we started like 10 minutes late?
Oh, yeah.
All right. We won't be
Is
much
it
longer.
dex or strength?
Let me see.
Climbing? I feel like it's
Dex.
probably dex.
It's definitely
yeah.
dex based.
Okay. Actually, I'm gonna different.
Difficulty number is determined by the DM.
Oh, that's a 7.
I thought that was another one.
I know, I was about to kill myself.
Yeah. I'd say maybe you're a little wet. Your hands are a little like slippy at 1st, but then you manage to like make your way. I just imagine this lizard man climbing up the back of this ship.
I can see here.
Yeah,
first.
and
Just like a gecko.
all of the like people I guess that would be driving the ship are I kind of like more towards the front, kind of paying attention to that cargo ship. So you manage to
And that big old jump.
scale. Yeah, true. That jump is being quite the distraction. So you manage to like scale the back of this ship. Do you want to like try and get in through like a porthole, or just kind of get up onto the back of the ship and try and stealthy stride around?
I wanted to get into like the cargo hold.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'd probably say, like I said, I don't know much about ships, so like layouts of.
we could say I'm like holding on to, I don't know.
If you get up, I'll say there's like a few hatches going down, I guess.
Yeah, I wanna try to.
You
get
can try
into
and
one of
like
those.
get up, and then like the first one you see, try and sneak into.
Sure.
Okay.
But I don't want to get into like the area where people are. I want to get into the cargo hold.
Yeah. I imagine you,
Yeah.
as a Skring, and having been informed by Missy, have slightly more knowledge of ships than I do as a human being. So,
That's racist.
Against humans.
Yeah, I'll say you like managed to kind of guess where cargo would be held, and you kind of get down to this back area, and then all of the doors seem to be locked going any further back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you have lockpicking? Should have brought Missif along. You have lockpicking, don't you? And quiet finger gloves. Quiet fingerless gloves.
Yeah.
Gloveless fingers.
Always try knocking on the door and see if anyone answers.
I don't know.
Are there any slaves in there?
Iconic.
I'm trying to think about if I have anything that could like help me with the.
You could just set the ship on fire.
Or that, you know.
I
No,
don't
no.
think I
If
have
there are
a
people
spell for
trapped
that.
inside, that'll be
Yeah,
real good.
there are people. Actually, yeah, I do a little knock on the hatch. What?
You hear voices.
Can I roll awareness and see if I can
Sure.
hear them?
Getting all the tests right now.
Yeah, I know, really.
Jacking all the tests.
This is
So are you
jacking all
inside
the
the ship right
session.
now?
No, I'm clinging onto the outside, and there's a
Oh,
hatch.
okay.
And
Deal.
you said everything was locked, right?
yeah.
But that explodes.
Mhm.
17.
Yeah. You hear like the sound of general panic and distress, I guess.
Okay.
Casual.
Visual distress.
Can I can I cast Spirit Dart, which is like the really pointed little one that I used to try and knock his hand off the sword once
Do you
to try and break the lock?
Sure.
Okay.
I just got a message from Josh that says I can help you with info on ship structure and stuff for the next episode.
Our friend in the Navy. Thank
Wow,
you, Josh.
thank you, Josh. I would greatly appreciate this help. Do you know anything about fantasy shit? We'll find
I know
out.
about
Have you ever
fantasy
been, or are
ships.
you currently a pirate?
Yeah.
Don't answer on stream, or the DMCA will come after you.
But yeah, you can.
Alright,
Yeah,
so that'll
go
be
for it.
Spellcat, yeah. That's an 11.
I'd say that probably works.
Alright. So I just kind of like point my index finger at it while
Wait, is that was to hit or like damage?
That was to like hit the lock and try to
Okay.
break it.
Um,
I'm like hanging on with
Yeah.
one arm and I do that with the other hand.
I say you like hit it pretty spot on.
Uh-huh.
It's a pretty high roll. I don't know. Does it make sense to roll for damage?
I don't know. It's up to you.
Nah. I say you managed to like kind of like hit it right in like the opening of the lock. And it kind of like breaks through it or something. Or no, like the little like.
Yeah,
That little part
breaks.
you like hit there, and it breaks through. So I guess you can kind of finagle it out of the door.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want to open the door?
I want to go in.
Yeah, there be slaves in there.
There are?
Yeah.
Okay, what do I see?
I don't really know how to like describe it.
Oh.
No, I mean it just
like
I guess.
huddled, weeping masses, I assume.
Yeah, I mean it's not really like don't really think like people change to walls. Just kind of like a lot of different races and different looking kinds of people. You see maybe like more orcs than normal. I mean, orcs are like common, like Theron, like slave.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking of rock.
Yeah, so
Just like when I open the hatch, is there kind of like a beam of light that goes in, or were they? I don't know.
they all kind
like-
of cower away.
Well, I don't know. I
from
imagine
light.
it was pretty dark.
Yeah, no,
So-
they were definitely. It was like I guess I would say it's kind
A
of.
halo of sunlight surrounds your head.
No, the last people they did see was another Scrang enslaving them. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I look different.
Yeah.
Our favorite emo boy come to save us.
But yeah, so you open it. I guess these people
Bitch is here.
kind of cower away, panic. You also see like some animals and stuff in this ship. But no one's really like the animals aren't fighting the people or whatever. Like they're all kind of just laying in like masses of people. So yeah. So I guess they start kind of panicking when you open the door. And I guess we can leave it there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Pick up there for the next session. But yeah, I mean, is everyone cool with that?
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
great. Yeah.
cool. Then we'll pick up there with the beginning of the next session. So thank you everyone for watching. Please. As I say at the end of every session in some random order, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitch, follow our social media, cool stuff. Pay attention. Our session next week will be again on Tuesday, starting at 9, because I have another exam. I'm sad. But yeah, tune in next Tuesday again, 9 to 11. Also not next Monday, but the Monday afterwards.
Monday the 22nd.
The 22nd of April, you can catch another D&D live stream like the one that happened yesterday. So please tune in for that as well. Bless you. And yeah, so thank you again for watching. Please follow our social media for more updates of what's going on when sessions are happening. So yeah, thank you for tuning in again, and see you next week. Bye.
Bye.